Windscreen. RAA approved repairer Complete Windscreens repairs it from just $99. Find the big red koala.
Australia has a new gold medalist and she's the youngest on record. Arissa True has won the Women's Park Skateboarding final, just 14 years and 87 days old, beating the previous record held by Sandra Morgan in 1956. True says the title hasn't sunk in and she can't wait to go home and celebrate with her friends.
I'm going to be celebrating this just by seeing all my friends and my family and just really excited to be here. And I'm also when I get back to Australia, I'm going to go see all my friends at Level Up and just hang out with them and celebrate with them because I miss them all so much.
Audio thanks to Nine Radio. More Olympic news coming up in sport with Tom Wren. Meantime, the River Seine remains a nightmare for Games organisers ahead of the marathon swimming later in the week. Nine Radio's Shane McGuinness reports.
Athletes have again been left frustrated after a training session for Thursday's women's open water swim was today cancelled due to poor water quality in the River Seine. Whilst organisers say the decision to cancel the training session was out of an abundance of caution, the lack of certainty for athletes preparing for the biggest swim of their lives is beyond farcical. Depending on the water quality, there remains the possibility that both the men's and women's open water swims may still be moved to the Seine Nautical Stadium.
A driver remains in a critical condition after his car collided head-on with a school bus in the Barossa Valley. The accident happened at the intersection of Stockwell Road and Penrice Road yesterday afternoon. The driver of the Volkswagen, a 25-year-old man travelling from overseas, was flown to hospital with serious injuries. The driver of the bus, a 64-year-old local man, and the 15 passengers on board were not injured. The Reserve Bank has kept interest rates on hold for its sixth board meeting in a row. The cash rate remains at 4.35%. The RBA is still concerned inflation remains at its higher end of its forecasts. The opposition's Angus Taylor maintains the government hasn't done enough to address the issue.
If the government had broken the back of inflation, we wouldn't be in this situation. And since December last year, we're the only one of our peer major countries where we've seen an increase in inflation, core inflation, not a reduction.
Meantime, analysts are warning we may not be out of the woods as stock markets across the globe start to recover from a massive dive. Britain's FTSE 100 index has posted its first rise in 4 sessions with a modest gain of 0.23%. The German and French markets have recorded a small loss, but the European stock 600 has finished up 0.2%. The tireless work being carried out by aged care workers across the country is being recognised. Staff say they're facing immense challenges in providing care and support to older people as a result of skilled worker shortages. Aged and Community Care Providers Association Chief Executive Tony Simonson says Aged Care Employee Day is an opportunity to thank those in the sector for their efforts.
We've recognised somewhere around 500 workers and teams across the country for the fantastic work they've done in run-up. I'm going around visiting a whole range of facilities in my local area, saying thank you to people. We're going to have cakes, we're going to have certificates of appreciation.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
And it's a very good morning, Tom Wren.
And a very good morning to you as well, Graham. As we heard a little earlier, Arissa True has claimed gold in the Women's Skateboarding Park final, making history as the nation's youngest ever medalist. Nine Radio's Katie Fuller reports from Paris.
The teenager was off to a shaky start in the final, True scoring 35.53 in her first run. She says she knew she needed to do all she could to bring it back, and that she did. The crowd audibly gasping as she jumped into the air, scoring 93.18 on the final run. Thousands of spectators in awe of her talent and screaming Arissa. She's now the youngest Australian to ever win an Olympic medal, shattering a record which has been held for almost 7 decades by swimmer Sandra Morgan. Japan claimed the silver medal, Britain took home bronze.
What a great result, but unfortunately heartbreak for the Boomers, going down 95-90 in overtime against Serbia, the Aussies blowing a 24-point lead. To football, and Port Adelaide veteran Travis Boak has paid tribute to retiring duo Dustin Martin and Tom Hawkins. Speaking on Fox Footy's AFL 360, Boak says he shares a special bond with Hawkins as they were the only 2 players remaining from the 2006 draft.
Yeah, we were the last 2 from that draft, but Hawk, incredible career. I think he was just an absolute beast for Geelong for a long period of time, and playing against him, you knew it was always going to be a tough battle for our back line.
And in some soccer, local NPL side, the Modbury Jets have unfortunately been knocked out of the Australia Cup after going down in penalties to Fitzroy City. And that's the 5AA Sport.
And now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
Sunny and 18 today, tomorrow showers 17, Friday partly cloudy 16, Saturday sunny 18. Currently it's 8. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. The Lynn Andrews team have seen a lot of change in real estate over the past 50 years, but one thing remains unchanged: our passion to help people invest in their future, to build strong property portfolios in either the residential or the commercial sectors. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share. We're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
At CMAX Clinical Research, we're on a mission to revolutionise healthcare. By participating in a clinical trial, you can help pave the way for a potential treatment for primary biliary cholangitis. If you're aged 18 to 65 and generally healthy, you could be eligible for this CMAX study. Upon your successful participation, you'll be paid for your time and commitment to help advance medical research. See if you're eligible today. Log on to cmax.com.au and look for the PBC study to find out more.
What's got Mike singing? Mike just got an energy-efficient heat pump installed by EcoVantage. Not only is it using nearly 80% less energy than his old hot water system and saving hundreds off his power bills, he got it for free. Thanks to federal and SA government incentives, you can get your own energy-efficient heat pump from just $0. Pump your energy bills down with EcoVantage. Visit ecovantage.com.au.
How to get Dad off-road with confidence and give him a shot at the ultimate Father's Day gift. Get into TJM and check out their Father's Day sale on now. You could win the old boy or yourself a trip for two to the NRL Grand Final in Sydney with flights, accommodation and an incredible game day experience. Spend $79 or more on TJM products at TJM Ranella or Nailsworth to go in the draw. Head in store now. T's and C's apply.
City Discount Tires. Get saving this month at City Discount Tires. Grab 3 Falcon Zeek ZE 310R passenger car tires and get the 4th tyre absolutely free. Experience top-notch performance with exceptional grip on both wet and dry surfaces. Steer your way to citydiscounttires.com.au for even more great deals. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires. Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Visit your local Hyundai dealer for offers on a wide range of models. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
9 minutes after 6, good morning to you. Welcome to Wednesday on 5AA Breakfast. It is the 7th of August. It is day 3 of the Undie Drive. Thousands of dollars have already been raised for Catherine House and the Hutt Street Centre. And today we are back on the tools for the Undie Drive. And what tools do we have at our disposal? If you're not wearing the socks, the 5AA Undie Drive socks this morning around the country, you're actually 2 degrees cooler. You're 2 degrees cooler than people that are currently wearing the socks. That is a fact. We got the CSIRO to have a look at it. They're the warmest socks on planet Earth. They're magnificent, these things. $20. It all goes to Catherine House and Hutt Street Centre. Just go to roughsleeper.com.au. Buy a $2 token at Foodland. Jump on 5AAUndieDrive.com.au at any time to make a donation as well. We've got more challenges coming this morning. We've got more targets for you. We'll get into all that very, very shortly, and a big show in and around all that as well. There's a shortfall of GPs in South Australia. Dr. John Williams is going to be on from the AMA. We'll have a chat about that. We have Jade Robran, who is out on the road for us today. David Koshy is going to be on the day after we heard from the Reserve Bank Governor, Michelle Bullock, yesterday. Rates on hold, but with some pretty ominous language that was used. And also Tim Cooper on this magnificent-looking Cooper's Brewery upgrade that was announced officially at a big opening yesterday. David Penberthy was there, and he's now here, and he's got the warm socks in his hands. Good morning to you.
Sorry, I'm just getting in character. Good morning, Will. Good morning, listeners. Yes, the Undie Drive socks, they're things of beauty. I'm just trying to open them, though. I'm tempted to wear them as gloves for the first 15 minutes.
I think you should.
My hands are cold. It's bloody freezing out there.
You could.
You were just saying that -4 in Canberra right
It's
now.
It's -4.1 in Canberra right now.
Anyone listening in Canberra?
Oh, my
Albo,
God.
you up and about?
Whose brainwave was it to send the people who make decisions about the rest of the country to a place that gets to -4.1?
Well, like a lot of things in Australia, it's the result of Sydney-Melbourne navel gazing that it's there, because they couldn't agree on where the capital should go. So they ended up taking over some bloke's sheep farm, didn't they?
That's exactly the history of it.
No,
they probably
in the
should have given it
1920s.
more than 9 seconds thought, though. We can't decide. Let's put it right in the middle. Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, it's a weird part of Australia for the capital, isn't it? But I suppose inland, the thinking was that, should we be attacked by sea, gave us a bit of a buffer that they'd have to head down the what is it the Hume? Yeah, it's the Hume.
To attack the seat of power.
Yeah.
See, I think conversely in 2024, most people would like us to send Canberra, or its equivalent, with the federal parliament out perhaps on a barge somewhere to be easily accessible to Chinese submarines.
Yeah, that's right. And float them in.
It should be it should be the first obstacle that needs to be negotiated by any invading navy.
Now, Will, of late, I don't know if I told you, during the NBA playoffs, I started watching the odd Pacers game.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you mentioned that.
out of loyalty to you, mate. And
it's a good run.
Yeah, until they lost. Now, I got into the Boomers a bit, and after that first quarter last night, I said to my son Jim, who's a basketball nut, I said, geez, they can almost put the cue in the rack here, can't they? Then at halftime, I said to Jim, look, I'm going to go to bed, mate. It's getting a bit late for me with my hours, but do you reckon they're going to win this game? He goes, I don't know. How do they do that?
Yeah, it was funny. My wife, we were watching it earlier. My wife said to me, this has all the hallmarks of one of those games where you're up too much, too early against a good team.
Yeah.
And it bizarrely makes you nervous about it.
Yeah.
You think, oh, no, this was a score in the third quarter, we'd be feeling good. Serbia were really good. This Boomers team isn't great, I think, unfortunately. They went, 1-3 for the Olympics and then bowing out. Going out by conceding the all-time Olympic record lead, not great.
Was it 24 points?
24 points up.
That's huge.
And Olympic basketball games, the rules are a bit different. So 10-minute quarters like we have here in the NBL, that's the international standard, shorter than NBA games. But the fewer timeouts as well. The games just whiz by, and usually big leads are really hard to rein in because you can't keep calling timeouts, you can't keep readjusting and so forth. That was diabolical last night. But problem with that team, they're always going to have trouble scoring. And if Paddy Mills isn't going berserk,
which he was at the start,
then they struggle to put points on the board, and that third quarter, it all just dried up. That was ugly, and it was unfortunate. I'll tell you the best story out of the Olympics though this morning is Arissa True.
Oh, amazing! 14 years old.
14 years old. I watched her this morning before I came in. Being interviewed by Eddie Maguire. I thought, what a 24 hours of this human being's life. A 14-year-old kid. She's gone and won an Olympic gold medal. They replayed the run that she did this morning. One of the most remarkable things I've seen. It was absolutely perfect. It was one of those moments watching a sport that no one outside of the skateboard community has any appreciation of what's going on. Where you looked at it and went, "Oh no, this is really good."
You could actually tell.
You could tell it was going really well. But then I thought, then suddenly she's on national television being interviewed at the desk with Eddie Maguire at 14 years of age.
So she's in what, year 10?
Is it even year 10? You would know better than I would.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, year 10. Amazing, isn't it?
Oh, my goodness.
What were you doing in year 10?
Nothing productive. In fact...
Well, after yesterday, I can say what I was doing. I was failing maths.
Yeah, I think year 10 actually might have been the nadir of my...
Yeah, I had a bad year 10. I got put in this remedial history class because I was buggerising around too much. It's a bit of a wake-up call. I got held back after school.
Year 9, Sam says.
So it's year 9.
Year 9, which they generally think now is the... I think the conventional wisdom on schooling is year 9's the kind of year where kids are at their least attentive.
Yeah.
They likely to learn the least, which is now why I think lots of schools have camps in year 9 where they go away and they try to sort of grow as human beings because your brain's elsewhere. Hormones are going berserk. You don't really give a stuff about learning trigonometry.
No.
So she's year 9. Did any of our listeners have any high-achieving moments before the age of 14?
Yeah, what was your crowning 14-year-old
Did anyone have any crowning achievement by the age of 14? Let us know. 8223 0000. Text us on the Dutton's text line 0480 8 1395. 16 after 6. We might take a quick break and we'll come back with news headlines in a moment.
The critical part of any healthcare is the care. It's about being by your side when you and your loved ones need us most. Through late night fevers, through the rough and tumble of weekend sports, through weird rashes, mystery aches, and knowing in your heart that something's not quite right. From surgery to rehabilitation, through emergencies, mental illness, chronic diseases, and for better health. Your doctor cares. Let's take care of them too. Authorised by Dr. David Pope, Samoa, Adelaide.
If the bank's declined your business loan, no worries. Universal Finance make business loans easy. No financials required. Unsecured business loans and business overdrafts. Universal Finance can help your business now. For lightning fast settlement, sometimes in just a matter of hours. See Universal Finance in Kent Town today. Or search Universal Finance right now. This is general advice only, and you should consider the terms and conditions before determining whether this advice is suitable for your situation.
Hutt Street Centre's annual Walk a Mile in My Boots challenge is just around the corner. Walk a mile or more to support over 7,000 people experiencing homelessness in South Australia. By participating, you'll raise vital funds for Hutt Street Centre and help people experiencing homelessness in our community.
Getting involved is simple. Just sign up, spread the word, and commit to walking a mile a day for 1 week during National Homelessness Week. Walk your miles however you choose until the final mile, and this is great, where everyone's invited into the city to walk together and show support for this brilliant and crucial cause.
Register for free and start fundraising today at walkamile.org.au.
Hey guys, did you know that all Austrac campus hybrids are built for all Australian conditions because they include Pettis shock absorbers and Timkins bearings?
Austrac Campus! At Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, we've launched out of the starting blocks and we're flying down the track with our huge demo clearance. All demos are going to race out the door, like Demo T-Rocks from only $35,990 drive away. We're first for easy on-site finance options and top of the podium for convenient next-day servicing with complimentary loan vehicles. Get in first for Mawson Lakes Volkswagen's huge demo clearance. Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city. Rego S22 3CYX.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Visit your local Hyundai dealer for offers on a wide range of models. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
18 minutes after 6, if you jump on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream, you'll see David wearing the rough sleeper 5AA Undie Drive socks on his arms, rolled up almost to the elbow. And I can't quite put my finger on it, but it just makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't know why. Maybe listeners can help us out. Just the look of it, it's just...
They're serving a practical purpose, Will, which is to warm me up. It's quite frosty in here. We had a fire alarm went off this morning. Poor old...
We did.
Sam and Blake and your dad were out standing on the footpath for half an hour.
Couldn't do the work.
Tried to work out if the building was on fire or not. Happily, it's not. Well, I don't think it is. Can't smell anything. But, yeah, warm up with these socks.
It's like the uncanny valley looking at those socks. It's just...
What's the uncanny valley?
The uncanny valley is the theory that there's something in human brains, a being's brain, when you look at robots trying to be humans, it gets... If they look like robots, you just go, it looks like a robot. If it starts getting close to a human, but it's clearly not, people feel uncomfortable. It's just something triggers in the brain. It's just something about it looks sort of close, but not quite right. So, and you wearing the socks on made me feel like that.
I think you've got some sort of bizarre, hitherto undisclosed sock phobia.
I didn't realise I did either, but that was weird.
Maybe you need to see a psychologist. Maybe there was something unpleasant that happened to you in the past involving a sock.
By a 50-year-old man with socks on his hands.
What about talking sock puppets? How do you deal with them?
Yeah, I don't want to see you demonstrate.
Hey, Will. I'm going to do the rest of the show like a talking sock.
Make it soft. Stop.
I will haunt your dreams.
You can buy the 5AA Undie Drive socks and do whatever the hell you want with them, frankly, because the money goes to
Free Country,
Hutt Street Centre and Catherine House. You just need to go to roughsleeper.com.au. All right, let's get to the news headlines. The Reserve Bank says the interest rates cuts are not on the agenda for the time being.
She's fun, this woman.
After a 2-day meeting, the RBA kept the cash rate on hold at 4.35%. The central bank concerned inflation still remains at the higher end of expectations. Michelle Bullock said it needs to come down further.
What we can say is that a near-term reduction in the cash rate doesn't align with the board's current thinking.
across the economy, we need to see demand and supply coming back into better balance. Now, I understand that this is not what people want to hear. I know there are many households and small businesses that are struggling with interest rates where they are.
So, would all this be happening if Australia didn't have so many, these over-governed country values, if there weren't so many political mediocrities out there just blowing public money trying to win elections? Did you see the story in Queensland yesterday? The Queensland government has announced that it's going to buy its own service stations to sell petrol.
Yes, that's an example.
Is Salvador Allende advising them up there? No disrespect to Salvador. Didn't deserve to be taken out the way he did in Chile in 1974, but let's just say his economic policies did raise some eyebrows.
They've inspired the Queensland government, as it turns out.
Unbelievable.
But yes, the short answer is absolutely yes.
What role has the state got in selling petrol? What are we, Venezuela?
Because the problem with our political system, certainly when it comes to the battle against something like inflation and state governments expending money, is it's all downside for a state government. You get no credit for controlling inflation.
Well, that's true.
The only political credit you get is when you're spending money. So it's an environment where it's no incentive for governments to do the right thing. Even the federal governments in this, they have a much closer relationship to it, but the same sort of thing happens.
But how can the Reserve Bank say, given Philip Lowe's problems with his longer-term predictions, how can they say for 6 months don't expect a rate cut?
Well, that is exactly the glass-half-full analysis if you've got a mortgage right now. The Reserve Bank in the last decade has been really bad at making predictions about what's going to happen in the future. So let's just not put too much store in the 6 months.
Well, maybe given that they got it so wrong last time where they said, don't worry, rates aren't going to go up for another 2 years, and then they went up 14 times. Maybe what this means is saying that, given that she's now said rates aren't going to go down for the next 6 months, maybe they'll in fact go down 7 times.
Exactly right. That would be consistent with the recent history. Analysts are warning we may not be out of the woods as stock markets across the globe start to recover from a massive dive. Britain's FTSE, the FTSE 100, posted its first rise in 4 sessions with a modest gain of 0.23%. The German and French markets recorded small losses. The Europe Stock 600 finished up 0.2%. Big rebound after that remarkable day the day before. The US is rushing more forces to the Middle East amid fears of a region-wide war. Intelligence suggests Iran is on the cusp of launching a major military assault against Israel. I wake up every morning this week. It's hard to have a serious geopolitical conversation. We've got a sock puppet on your hand, I've got to say. Every morning I expect that one to
have happened.
Yeah. It's the first thing I check for, I think. It just feels like it's imminent.
Yeah.
I just felt like the puppet was going to add something.
I don't think the puppet should talk about the Middle East. That might be.
I would think that might be
too frivolous by half. Even by our fairly slapdash standards.
Universities say jobs will likely be cut if the federal government pushes forward with plans to cap international student numbers. Visa grant rates have already been slashed by more than 20% in the past year. A parliamentary inquiry has been warned slashing foreign student intake by 60,000 will cost the sector 14,000 jobs. Just lastly, Melbourne has been startled by a magnitude 4 earthquake. The shaking was centred in the Victorian Alps near Mount Borbor.
Mount Borbor.
Not familiar with Mount Borbor.
Is that sort of Victorian Alps? That's like the bottom of the Snowy Mountains, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like Mount Beauty that way? Mount Macedon?
Magnitude 4 is not nothing. It's not
No.
going to cause widespread damage, but that would have shaken the place up. All right, let's have a look at the weather outside of Canberra, where it's still minus 3.1. Yikes. In Adelaide today, right now 7.5 degrees. Heading for a beautiful day, sunny top of 18 degrees.
Some good days coming up.
Which is sort of becoming the norm beyond tomorrow. Tomorrow's 17 and cool.
A lot of rain.
With 2 to 9 mils of rain, which is sort of perfect. Because have a listen to the next 5 days. Friday, 16 cloudy. Okay, no rain though. Saturday, 18 sunny. Sunday, 21 and sunny. Monday, 23 and sunny.
Ooh.
That's going to feel like 35 degrees, I reckon, given where we've come from recently.
I put my tomato seeds in my little mini shade house
Is
yesterday.
that a good recipe for
that's
tomato
good.
growing?
That's
Okay.
good, yes. With the sun is what you want on the glass.
And even good Tuesday. 20 and partly cloudy on Tuesday. Tom Ren's in the 5AA Breakfast studio.
You can't control the sock. It's got a mind of its own.
Your Honour. Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gladderall Garage Doors. Gladderall.com.au. Morning to you, Rennie.
Good morning, boys. It's a bit like the claw from Liar Liar.
That's right.
Hey, fellas, good news this morning. Our youngest ever gold medalist taking out. I mean, what about that? The youngest ever since 1956. 14 years of age and 87 days old, Arissa True, the skateboarding, one of the old traditional events. But good on her.
I don't care what the event is, we'll take a gold medal.
Yeah, exactly. So 14 now. We're up to third on the medal tally again.
Are we?
Yeah, so we're...
Unbelievable.
It's incredible. That's if you measure it by gold medals, which
you do.
Which you do.
You're there to win.
Exactly. So, unfortunately, though, Will, and I defer to you a little bit more here, the Boomers blew up the biggest ever lead. Well, it was the biggest ever comeback, and credit to Serbia. They were 24 points down, but we lost in overtime. So close. Paddy Mills was on fire. They were dominating, but then, unfortunately, Nikola Jokic and the Serbians just pulled them in.
I think I didn't have particularly high hopes for the Boomers this Olympic cycle because it felt like a team caught between two generations. There's the giddy Dyson Daniels, Josh Green, and you can probably throw a few of the younger guys, Johnny Furphy's and Rocket Rizikowski's and these kind of guys. That's the next generation that aren't quite. Josh Giddey was terrific, to be fair. He's probably a bit further along. Dyson Daniels, I thought, was excellent as well. But that's the next generation to be really excited about, I think. And then the last generation that won us the bronze, that deserves all the respect in the world because they got Australian basketball to where not many people thought they'd necessarily ever get. Your Paddy Mills and your Joe Ingles and these types.
They're in the twilight.
They're in the twilight.
Yeah.
He's 35, isn't he?
That's right. And look, Paddy last night
he wound back the clock.
He did one of those magical moments we get sometimes in sport where they go to the well, these great players who you think, they're a bit past it now, and he found something. So that was amazing. Serbia have the best player in the world.
Yeah.
Nikola Jokic. They've got Nikola Jovic was a first-round pick recently. Bogdan Bogdanovic is a perennial six-man of the year candidate in the NBA, and he's a quality player. Vasily Micic made it over as a mature age, but their team is stacked. They're really good. You shouldn't give up a 24-point lead.
That's the thing, isn't it? Once you get that far in front,
FIVEAA basketball, 10-minute quarters, no timeouts.
Those two blokes you mentioned at the start, they just. And you could see it happening in the second quarter when they suddenly went from 24 behind to 11 behind. They just then Australia clawed it back a bit, but when those two big blokes got organised together, it was just like a drill.
Yeah. Jokic is a freak. He might be the best passer on planet Earth, and he's 7 feet tall. He's just ludicrous. Disappointing way to go out, though. Really.
It is, isn't it? And like you said, I think before the game you would have said, look, probably unlikely, but then once you're in it and you're winning by that much, you go, they should do this.
Yeah. Well, because the Achilles heel of this Boomer side, I think, is scoring, and that's what happened in the third quarter. It just dried up, and they've relied for too long, too heavily on it. Paddy Mills' miracle shots, basically. But their one should have been defence with the personnel available. Now, a lot's going to be said about Brian Goorjian and how he applied that personnel. He's starting 5. I see Nick Carney played 8 minutes in that final game. There was enough high-end quality units they could have put together defensively that it should have been really hard for Serbia to get enough points on the board to come back. But, yeah, that'll be in the aftermath. I think that'll be Gorge's last game coaching the Boomers.
Yeah, it feels like that, doesn't it? And, I mean, look, he's been a great coach, but he's also someone
they need
a
new look at this team with the new talent coming through.
And with some new eyes. And
correct.
Just fresh eyes, contemporary ideas, perhaps.
I think that's exactly right.
Are the women still in it, in the basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah, still going. Yep.
Yeah, they've come back. They had that horror first loss, and since then they've been really good.
Yep. So they've turned things around, and they do. I mean, they've won silver before, haven't they?
Yeah, top 3 in the world they're ranked.
Yeah, I mean, they should be there. So they're a very good side. And Izzy Borlace, the South Aussie's been really strong.
Yeah.
A part of their campaign. Just before I go, good news for South Australian cricket. They've named their coach for next season, Ryan Harris, who, of course, had great success at the international level. So I think it's a good appointment. He knows the system well. Had a lot of success domestically at Queensland. Unfortunately, he was one of those many players that we lost and went away and did very, very well and then went on to higher honours. But he's going to be very good for... He knows South Australian cricket really well, so a really good appointment, I think, for SA.
Tough job, isn't it,
Tough job. We've spoken about it, the lack of success South Australia's had for a long time. It's
Sorry, I just like putting it on occasionally.
Oh, I love trash. Anything dirty and stinky
Is that
and
Oscar?
murky.
He was my favourite
Ready
Sesame scene.
when it's 6:30. There's
You got 2.5
there's
hours.
2.5 hours to go. We'll let you get back.
At least his hands will be warm.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny and 18 today with the 6:30 news. I'm Graham Goodings.
Make RAA-approved windscreen repairer, Complete Windscreens, your insurer repairer of choice. Visit completewindscreens.com.au.
The parents of Australia's youngest Olympic medalist have struggled to find the words to describe the achievement. 14-year-old Arissa True has won gold in the women's park skateboarding. Her father says their Olympic dream started from very basic beginnings.
Just going out and having fun and enjoying the sport and, just being active and having a good time. That's all we've ever encouraged her to do, have friends and enjoy skating, surfing, everything.
Audio thanks to 9 Radio. More Olympic news coming up in sport with Tom Wren. Kamala Harris has announced her running mate for the presidential election. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz will join the Vice President at the rally in Philadelphia, where he will be officially introduced to voters. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says Kamala Harris told President Joe Biden about her decision directly before making it public.
He has known Governor Walz for 2 decades and worked with him when they both served in Congress, and then during the Biden-Harris administration in his capacity as governor of Minnesota. President Biden respects Governor Walz as a strong, principled, effective leader who fights for working people.
Retirees are being urged to consider various investment options to improve their income stream rather than hope for an interest rise. The Reserve Bank has decided to keep the official cash rate on hold at 4.35% amid concern inflation is still too high. Mortgage holders may have to wait until next year for a rate cut, which means savers would lose out. Australian Retirement Trust Chief Economist Brian Parker says older people shouldn't rely on the whims of rate movements for their financial security.
I think the message for retirees is to ensure they've got a really well diversified investment strategy and that they're not just limiting themselves to cash and term deposits, and that they're also getting advice about how they should form their investment strategy.
Universities say jobs will likely be cut if the federal government pushes forward with plans to cap international student numbers. Visa grant rates have already been slashed by more than 20% in the past year. A parliamentary inquiry has been warned slashing foreign student intake by 60,000 will cost the sector 14,000 jobs. More than 1,000 people have gathered in Adelaide for the Philanthropy Australia conference. CEO Marie Seine says it's needed now more than ever, and you don't have to be rich to contribute.
It's really important to understand that you can give your time, you can give your talent, you can also give financially, and you also don't have to give a lot. So you can get together and give together with people. In fact, one of the fastest growing areas in philanthropy is what we call giving circles, which is just a group of friends giving together.
Older doctors could be forced to undergo health checks to ensure they're fit to treat patients. Data suggests GPs over the age of 70 are 81% more likely to be the subject of a complaint than their younger counterparts. The Medical Board of Australia is proposing evidence-based tests be brought in to better protect patients while avoiding age discrimination. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderroll Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderroll.com.au.
And Tom Wren, more gold from Paris.
It's been outstanding, hasn't it, Graham? And as we heard a little earlier in your news bulletin, Arissa True has won Australia's 14th gold medal after winning the women's skateboarding event. Heartbreak, though, for the Boomers overnight with their Olympic campaign coming to an end. Shane McInnes reports from Paris.
The Boomers' hopes of a medal here in Paris have been dashed, going down to Serbia 95-90 in overtime. With just one win from their group stage matches, the Aussies came out firing, leading 31-17 after the first quarter, and led by as much as 24 points before half-time. However, with NBA star Nikola Jokic leading the way with 21 points, Serbia fought their way back, recording the greatest comeback in Olympic basketball history. Paddy Mills and Josh Giddey were exemplary for the Boomers, but overtime belonged to Serbia as they secured a spot in the semi-finals. The Boomers' Paris campaign coming to a premature end.
Well, 17-year-old diver Ellie Cole has impressed on Olympic debut, finishing 7th in the women's 10-metre platform. Fellow Aussie and 5-time Olympian Melissa Wu ended the final in 11th. Cole says it's a dream to be competing alongside her hero.
Her hard work and dedication is just so incredible to watch throughout all competition and all training, and now to be on a team with her and making a final with her, it's it's really special.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Audio thanks to Nine Radio. Well, Australia also won bronze in the track cycling, finishing third in the men's team sprint. Let's go to football. Port Adelaide's players will be back training at Alberton this morning after having the day off yesterday. Meantime, Carlton Matt Cottrell's season is over, suffering a fractured shoulder in Saturday's loss to Collingwood. And South Australia has announced its new cricket coach, with former Test quick and local Ryan Harris set to take over from Jason Gillespie. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. Now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
Sunny and 18 today. Tomorrow showers 17, Friday partly cloudy 16, and Saturday 18 and sunny. Currently it's 8. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Visit your local Hyundai dealer for offers on a wide range of models. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
24 to 7, talking doctor shortage before 7 o'clock this morning. We're going to be catching up with Dr. John Williams, the president of the AMA here in South Australia, very shortly. Police and weather in just a moment. All good news on the weather front, I tell you. We're going to hear some pretty exciting details, I suspect, from the Bureau in just a few minutes' time. Then after 7 o'clock today, we'll go around the courts with Sean Fuster. We've got our parochial SA Olympics wrap, where we'll talk about some successes that our South Australian athletes have had over there. And a little bit later in the morning, David Kosh will join us. It is, of course, Undie Drive Day 3, and we have a hangover challenge from yesterday. Have a listen to how the show ended on Tuesday.
We've correlated the listener feedback regarding what challenge you two or someone at the station should do, and I have decided to just Captain's Call and go for it for tomorrow because I liked it that much. And it's from our good mate Dave from Alberton. Dave is an excellent contributor to this program, and we love everything he contributes. So, this is for you, David. If we raise $3,000 by 8 a.m. tomorrow, so just under 24 hours, David, you will complete tomorrow's Breaking at 8 as Alan Jones.
It's a beloved impersonation that David does, there's no doubt about it. Came through strong in the listener feedback. Thanks to Dave from Alberton. We'll give you the credit for coming up with the idea. We need $1,200 more dollars, I think. $1,200 more dollars to get to the target. So get donating, 5AAUndiedrive.com.au. Buy the socks at roughsleeper.com.au. $2 token at your Foodland supermarkets. Get donating, $1,200 more dollars by 8 o'clock, and we've got the beloved Alan Jones impression.
The guy that we should actually get to do it is Paul Murray, who's on Sky News now. When I left the Advertiser and moved to Sydney to work covering New South Wales politics when Bob Carr was Premier, we had this great little bureau and sort of stayed in touch with most of them, certainly with Lee Sales. So Lee Sales was there working for ABC Radio before she became, famous national superstar doing the 7:30 report. David Spears, who went to Sky but then ended up working at the ABC, now hosts Insiders on Sunday. He's a lovely guy. He was there working for 2UE. And Paul Murray, who's now late-night right-wing rabble-rouser on Sky After Dark. Paul was a young kid working for 2GB, which was then the cellar dweller of Sydney Radio, because John Laws and Alan Jones were at 2UE and then went over to 2GB. Murray is the most incredible mimic, and he was so good. His Alan Jones impersonation, he used to ring Bob Carr, and Bob Carr, the Premier, would answer the phone, and Murray was going,
Bob, I just need to talk to you about the Cross City Tunnel. I think the government's going down an appalling path, and Carr would take these calls, and he'd talk to him for like 5 minutes, and he'd eventually go, "That's you, isn't it, Murray?" But he could pull it off for a long time.
That's superb.
But he'd do it, but he'd put him on speakerphone, and we'd go and sit in his office and listen to Paul Murray pranking the Premier of New South Wales.
That is
hilarious.
This morning it's going to be the D. Penberthy version. You're going to hear that after 8 o'clock today. Should we do some Dutton's text? Dutton's car dealerships in the Adelaide Hills and Murray Bridge. Dutton's easy to do business with.
I've got tomato envy, thanks to Adrian from Melrose Park. He said, "Dave, why are you starting your tomato seeds now? I started mine in mid-April, and look at the head start I have without any time of heating apart from Mother Nature." and he sent this photograph of these crackerjack-looking tomato plants that are well advanced. It looks like they're inside his kitchen, though. Has he got them in the kitchen? I'm not sure. Please explain, Adrian. I'm keen to learn more. Rob says, talking about doing remedial history, he says remedial history these days would be a frontline course where the past is erased and retaught in another version. And talking about skills that people had when they were 14. Quentin says when he was 14, he learnt to chew gum and walk at the same time. Yes, I know, I'm an overachiever. And Brent the Milky says, good morning, Dave and Will. I'm here enjoying the show as always. Thanks for keeping me company out on the road. He wants to know if we received the French butter that he dropped off.
Apparently Sam says it's in the fridge.
Oh, really? Excellent.
Oh,
I'm
nice
tucking
work,
into that,
Brent.
Brenton.
That's superb.
And he's reminiscing too about last year's legendary John Blake take on Lucy's Movie Bowl.
Yeah.
Where the movie that was reviewed was Deep Throat.
82230000 is the number. Get donating $1,200 away from David's Alan Jones impression for breaking it 8. It could be your Dana Carvey, Mike Myers moment for...
I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off. I'll give it a whirl for
impressions.
A good cause. But, hey, I'll tell you what. You know what is going to be the absolute must-visit venue in Adelaide? The new Cooper's Brewery. I was out there yesterday. I couldn't stick around for the full tour because I had a bit of a child-minding issue that I had to attend to, so I left a little bit early. But I was there for the launch. The governor, she's such a good stick, Frances Adamson, Her Excellency, gave a cracking speech to launch the brewery upgrade. But you think about things like Gather Round. There's going to be blokes coming from interstate going, we've got to go to the brewery while we're here. It's got these 3 massive bars and this restaurant. It's the most phenomenal setup. Like the amount of money that they've spent on it, and just a huge credit to local architects, builders, engineers, designers. And I'll tell you what, when you see the Coopers family in full flight, you think they've all got such extraordinary and complementary skills. You know, like for a family business to survive for 6 generations, normally genetics stuffs it up at some point. You know, there's some sort of hiccup, but they are just this model of consistency.
Looks spectacular, the new facility. We had pictures of it on 7 News last night. Yeah, I think you're right. It's going to be incredibly popular. All right, let's head out on the road to check in with Jade Robran. Thanks to Dutton's, family owned and operated for 75 years and easy to do business with. Morning to you, Jade.
Good morning, NAPLAN students. We'll get onto that in a little moment. But good news for Brighton residents this morning. They're going to be a little safer today. Work is now finished on that upgrade to Brighton Road and Edward Street Junction at South Brighton there. A set of new traffic lights, a signalised pedestrian and a cyclist crossing have now been built and finished. Now, it was already a bit of a hairy junction, which, with that increase of so much more traffic down in that area. So it was really needed for safety for both pedestrians, cyclists and drivers, and to also improve public transport accessibility to the area as well. So local residents and businesses, they've been really frustrated over the years with that congestion in that area and lack of access to the shops. So a dedicated right turn lane has been installed on Edward Street into the Brighton Central Shopping Centre. So fingers crossed the problem is now being fixed for those local business owners and shoppers there. And for those of you who catch public transport, a new bus stop 37 East has been installed south of the junction. They've also popped in some LED lighting, new curbing and gutters. They've resurfaced the road and pavement there and also new line marking to make it safer for commuters. So great news this morning for residents in Brighton. But let's talk NAPLAN tests, shall we?
Rather not, Joe.
My results for my sons got delivered in the post. So I said to Sam, this is interesting. So the boys have sat their NAPLAN tests. I've got the report on where they sit nationally. So you've come in, 40% for you, Dave, and what, Will, 45%?
Something like that.
So looking at the charts, that means you're developing students. So there is a table at the top that says exceeding. Then there's a huge big area, strong, and then below that is developing, and then below that is needs special support. So good news for both
hang
of
on.
you. You don't need special support.
Well, that's a win.
Developing. The student's result indicates that they are working towards expectations at the time of testing. It means that you fall in the middle 60% of Year 7 students in Australia. So well done, guys.
Take that as a win.
Yeah,
That's
with
good.
that.
That is good.
So we're developing towards the standard expected of 11-year-old kids. That's not bad, is it?
Heading in the right direction. The only way is up from there.
The only way is up, Dave. Glass half full thinking. Guys, I'm out and about on the Undie Drive after this. I'm going to head to our good friends at the Kent Town. They've got a really exciting announcement to make in regards to schnitties, one of my favourite meals there. So stay tuned for that exclusive. And a little later, I'm going to be heading into the Guardsman at the Adelaide train station because, as we know, all this week they are donating a portion of coffee. Grab your coffee from the Guardsman, and all proceeds, not just some proceeds, all proceeds are going to go to our Undie Drive. So I'm going to duck in there and say g'day to everybody and see how sales are going.
Fantastic.
Good on you, Jay.
Thank you, Jay.
Adrian in Melrose Park's called into the program at 8223 Morning to you, Adrian.
How you going, guys?
Yeah, we're good. Hey, Adrian, you're the tomato guy, mate. Thank you for ringing in. So that photo's very impressive, mate. And you said you put the seeds in April. Did you strike them inside or outside?
Well, we still had some warm weather at end of May. So in early June, if I'm going to plant them from seed, I'll put them in the little pots. But I also grow some from cuttings.
Oh, really?
To grow some roots. Because that way you get the exact copy.
Yeah, sure.
So in my front room is north facing. And a lot of the nice days it was warm in there and the light came in.
Yeah.
And grew and grew. And usually I always do it, I start about, early June.
Yeah, right.
Process, and look at them now. So in mid-September, I'll put them outside in the soil.
Yeah.
So I've got such a head start, and I've done it for years, and I get tomatoes from early November, ripe, up until about end of almost halfway through May the next year.
Seriously?
Yep.
Wow. What are you growing? What are they?
Oh, the Rouge de Marmande.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful one. And there's some heirlooms I've got. And
like those sort of beef heart ones that are all twisty.
Yeah. Mortgage Lifter.
Oh, yeah, Mortgage Lifter. That's a good one. It's one of Will's favourites.
Genuine. That's a fantastic hybrid. But when that grows, I take cuttings off it. I don't grow hybrid from seed.
Well, mate, this is all excellent stuff, and we'll cease trying to turn the FIVEAA breakfast show into the Michael Keelan program. But that was very illuminating for the tomato enthusiasts out there, Will. And I know you do like a tomato, don't you?
Yeah, it has its place on the plate.
It's good for you to learn where they actually come from.
Oh, no, I'm aware of where they come from. I just have little interest in partaking in where they come from. 11 to 7, I will support the industry, though, by buying them. Let's check traffic. Back with police and weather in a moment.
Thanks, Will, and morning, David. She's a pretty picture-perfect run into work today. We're accident breakdown-free, no real hassles. Few roadworks, but nothing bad, which is good. Find some at Wingfield, Grand Junction Road near Dunstan Road, also at Clapham, Springbank Road near Alberta Road, and bit sluggish at the moment at South Brighton, down to 40 there, Brighton Road near Broadway. Early morning cameras, Forreston Road, Forreston, Fox Creek Road at Cuddly Creek. Save while helping IGA support local causes. Clinics Complete Clean Toilet Tissue, 9-pack, $4 each. Better than half price. Offer ends August 13. While stocks last, excludes Foodland. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, the Lynn Andrews team have made it easy for landlords to manage residential and commercial property. From single homes to multiple commercial holdings, our passion for property investment means we have a great deal of knowledge. How to do it safely and properly, matching the right tenant with the right property every time. We're here to help you. Visit lynandrews.com.au.
If you're ready for the legendary Hilux, your journey starts at the brand new Jarvis Toyota, Brighton Road, Somerton Park. Save across the entire Hilux range, unbreakable since 1968, including the first ever Hilux GR Sport, inspired with Dakar DNA. Hilux GR Sport is available now and boasting more power and torque. Jarvis Toyota, Brighton Road, Somerton Park. Proudly celebrating 23 years of great deals. Visit their brand new showroom today.
City Discount Tires.
Get saving this month at City Discount Tires. Grab 3 Falcon Zeek ZE 310R passenger car tires and get the 4th tyre absolutely free. Experience top-notch performance with exceptional grip on both wet and dry surfaces. Steer your way to citydiscounttires.com.au for even more great deals. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires.
Visit your local Hyundai dealer for offers on a wide range of models. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
9 to 7, let's talk about the weather. Simon Timke at the Bureau joins us. Simon, the back end of this forecast is magnificent, but let's start with today if you can.
Good morning, Will. Certainly. Sunny day for Adelaide today. It's been a little bit cool to start off with. We've had an overnight minimum temperature of 5.9 degrees, but colder about the northern suburbs. Parrafield's had a minimum of 2.6 degrees. But looking at the satellite picture, just a little bit of patchy, thin, high cloud moving across the top at the moment, and that will clear shortly. So plenty of sunshine around today. And expecting conditions to be a little bit warmer than yesterday, expecting a maximum temperature 18 degrees today, 19 degrees for Elizabeth and 17 for Glenelg, Mount Barker and Noarlunga. Different day on the way for Thursday though. We've got a cold front moving across which will bring some showers, likely to develop sort of mid to late morning on Thursday and continue during the afternoon, then easing fairly early in the evening and pretty much clear by mid-evening. It'll be a little bit windy. The wind northerlies will tend around northwesterly, but they'll become a little bit lighter late afternoon and evening. 17 degrees the maximum for Thursday after an overnight minimum of 10. And then on Friday, dry conditions, maybe a little bit of patchy morning fog around with light winds to start off with, 16 degrees. And then we gradually warm up from that point on and plenty of sunshine over the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, both sunny days, 18 degrees for Saturday, 21 degrees for Sunday, and then even warmer for Monday, expecting a sunny day, 23 degrees, so a real warm burst late in the week.
Good stuff, Simon.
Good on you, Simon. Thank you for that. Let's head to Sapole. Senior Constable Matt Brown joins us. Matt, this is awful. 2 fatal crashes last night.
That's right, Will. It's never nice to talk about these things, but at 7 p.m. last night, police were called to Rail Corridor Road at Hart in the state's mid-north after a pedestrian was struck by a car and a truck. And sadly, the 52-year-old local man died at the scene. And Rail Corridor Road was closed between Hart Road and Hart Church Road while major crash investigators examined the circumstances, and the roads have since reopened in the area. And so the man's death was the 53rd life lost on South Australian roads. And about 2 hours later, just before 9 p.m, police were called to Main South Road at Maiponga after reports that a white Suzuki sedan had crashed into a tree, and the car then caught fire. And emergency services attended the scene and fire crews extinguished the blaze, but the driver and sole occupant sadly died at the scene. And major crash officers also attended that scene as well, and roads were closed in the area for several hours but have since reopened. And the 75-year-old Seaford Rise man's death is the 54th life lost on South Australian roads this year. So very sad news there.
Yeah, and of course there's also that crash in the Barossa where the person remains in a critical condition after driving into that bus full of school kids. So a shocking day on the roads all round. Thank you for that, Matt. Senior Constable Matt Brown from Sapole.
Yeah, that's just shocking. 6 minutes to 7. 8223 is our name. You can text us too on the Duttons text line. See a few donations coming through for the Undie Drive. We're getting very, very close to David's Alan Jones challenge being activated. I think we're a couple $100 away. I'm just going to go through the paperwork as we speak, and we'll try and work out precisely how close we are in just a moment. Let's round out the hour though by talking about the doctor shortfall that we have currently in South Australia. Dr. John Williams is the president of the Australian Medical Association here in South Australia. Dr. Williams, good morning to you.
Good morning.
How do we quantify? How many doctors short are we from an optimum running system?
So this is in general practice, and the figures recently released from the Department of Health and Ageing put us at 50 full-time equivalents in South Australia at the moment, and that's expected to increase to 130 by 2028. So that's a significant shortfall, and really the future's not looking great at the moment.
Can I ask, Dr. Williams, we had a lot of feedback from our listeners the other day about difficulties they're having accessing GPs. Clearly, the consistency about the availability of bulk billing is an issue. But we've also had people tell us that on account of this payroll tax, Barney, with the state government, that some GPs are now applying a special sort of one-off extra charge on account of the payroll tax. Have you seen evidence of that too?
Yes, that's so there is the payroll tax, which is the application of that has been changed, so that's an increased cost to practices. There is an exemption for bulk billing, but that's there's a lot of practices that are mixed billing. So on the private billing part, there is a payroll tax additional cost to GPs, and the passing that on to patients. So that they continue to be viable as practices. Our concern has been that more practices will close and more GPs will retire early or leave the profession, and that'll make the shortfall even worse.
So when you consider all of these different factors and then you set them against the ramping figures that came out last week, do you think that it's irrefutable that fewer people are going to the GP now because if there's fewer GPs? Maybe it costs more because of the payroll stuff. And is this why so many more people seem to be just rocking up at EDs or ringing ambulances?
Yeah, exactly. We know that the best way to reduce the demand on the system is to improve medical care on the ground level. So prevention is better than cure. So the better we can treat patients in the community, then the less demand there is going to be on the hospitals and ED departments. So absolutely, there's a direct connection here. It's a bit like saying, if you don't service your car, you won't need, an engine replacement. So you really need to do that stuff at the ground level. So that's where money is best invested in the healthcare system at the moment. And we know that our general practice is highly effective and highly efficient. We only cost less than 6% of the health costs altogether and do more than 80% of the health care. So this is really a no-brainer.
Do you guys need a bit of a marketing campaign, like a national, make being a GP sexy again? Because it feels like a lot of people go to medicine these days and they want to specialise and... obviously, there's a higher commercial sort of appeal to that. Not to say it's all about the money. I'm sure for some of them it's about the intellectual stimulation and the challenge of being outstanding in such a narrow field of medical expertise. But the idea of being, a crackerjack GP, lifelong relationships with people in your community, is it not seen as both financially and intellectually rewarding as it should be?
It's not seen that way. I can tell you, as a real GP, it absolutely is. It's so rewarding to get to know our patients and actually really, really make a huge difference in their life. It may not seem like rocket science on the outside, but that long conversation, with a patient over years about smoking, how to get them to stop smoking, helping them with their choices, helping them do that, and then having the success of them stopping smoking, and then seeing the benefits on their health and an improvement of their health. As I said, it might not sound like rocket science, but it really is, and the rewards are huge. So that relationship with our wonderful patients, and then seeing the benefits that we can make to their life. It is an amazing profession, and really a privilege to be able to do that. So yes, I think a national campaign would be fantastic, just to advertise the benefits of general practice.
So many factors at play there. Dr. John Williams, the President of the Australian Medical Association.
I just had a look at the donations that are coming in the last few moments. Thank you to Lisa Spawn, who's put in $100. Graham Harris,
Lisa Spawn.
$50. Touring Adelaide put in 100. We need to find out more about Touring Adelaide. But I'm sure
they're great.
Their tours are the best.
They are.
I don't even know where they go.
No.
In fact, it doesn't matter where they go. They're so good at it.
You'd ring them up and say, I just need a tour down to my local supermarket.
Drive up and down South Road and you go, what a thrill.
Like a tour.
That's how good they are. If that's the kind of touring we're talking about, of course. If it's not,
they're excellent.
They're good at that too.
Touring Australia for all your touring needs.
Phil McGowan, $25, and Dr. Chris Sexton and Dr. Darren Roberts have chipped in $1,000.
Obstetricians to the stars.
Our excellent obstetricians.
They are
terrific
guys.
blokes. They do a wonderful job. And you know what? They've become regular and terrific supporters of
almost
the
worth
5AA Undie Drive.
Going through childbirth again just to catch up with
I missed them, so that's kind of been the motivation. If we ever have another child, it'll be to catch up with Chris and Robert again. Darren, should I say?
Hope our wives aren't listening to that. I think we had the easier part.
Now, we may be developing when it comes to maths, but I know that is enough money to tip us over the threshold for an Alan Jones break at 8.
Good morning, Sydney.
I'm going to give you an hour to get fully in character.
Yeah, fully in character.
I think I need to go down to Peter Shearer during the news break and get a yellow suit.
You've committed to the sock bit because it doesn't come off your hand, I've noticed.
I'm loving it.
In fact, it spoke in your ear and gave you some thoughts about what to ask next in that interview with Dr. John Williams a moment ago. That was quite disconcerting. You can watch it all the madness on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube, a live stream. Back in a moment.
The latest local, national and international news for South Australia. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Sunny and 18 today with the 7 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Graham Goodings.
Chipped windscreen? RAA approved repairer Complete Windscreens repairs it from just $99. Find the big red koala.
Arissa True has won Australia's latest gold medal of the Paris Olympics, taking out the final of the women's park skateboarding. The teenager is the youngest ever Aussie medalist at just 14 years and 87 days. She scored 93.18 in the third and final run. True says she wasn't going to die wondering after a disappointing first run.
So I fell on my first run and I was like, it's like just annoying when you fall on your first run because you always want like the first safety run. But my coach was like, Trev, he was just like, you just got to go all out. And I was like, yep, I just like, who cares? I just like all or nothing.
Audio thanks to 9 Radio. More Olympic news coming up in sport with Tom Wren. There have been 2 fatal accidents overnight. A pedestrian died at Hart in the mid-north after being hit by a car and a truck. He was a 52-year-old local man. About 2 hours later, another life was lost at Maiponga. Senior Constable Matt Brown says emergency services were called after reports a white Suzuki sedan had crashed into a tree.
Emergency services attended the scene and fire crews extinguished the blaze, but the driver and sole occupant sadly died at the scene.
Meantime, a driver remains in a critical condition after his car collided head-on with a school bus in the Barossa Valley. The accident happened at the intersection of Stockwell Road and Penrice Road yesterday afternoon. The driver of the bus, a 64-year-old local man, and the 15 passengers on board were not injured. A leading economist is welcoming the Reserve Bank's decision to keep interest rates on hold. Rates remain at 4.35%, the 6th consecutive time the central bank has left rates on hold since November 2023. AMP Deputy Chief Economist Diana Musina says it was the right call but could have gone either way.
I think it was the right decision to keep rates on hold. I mean, that was universally expected, basically, but there was some risk of a hike given that the Reserve Bank's been a little bit more worried about inflation in the past few months.
US Vice President Kamala Harris has selected her running mate, little-known Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. US correspondent Lauren Tomasi.
The Democrats have their 2024 ticket. It's Harris Walz. The 6-year-old governor of Minnesota tapped on the shoulder for the job. He's not a widely known or high-profile politician, but he is the man the vice president believes will help her secure the November win. Tim Walz is a veteran. He served as a congressman for more than a decade before becoming a Minnesota governor. And before politics, he was a high school teacher and a football coach. Tim Walz and Kamala Harris are holding their first joint rally today in Pennsylvania and will travel to battleground states throughout the week.
The tireless work being carried out by aged care workers across the country is being recognised. Staff say they're facing immense challenges in providing care and support to older people as a result of skilled worker shortages. Aged and Community Care Providers Association Chief Executive Tom Simonson says Aged Care Employee Day is an opportunity to thank those in the sector for their efforts.
We've recognised somewhere around 500 workers and teams across the country for the fantastic work they've done in run-up. I'm going around visiting a whole range of facilities in my local area, saying thank you to people. We're going to have cakes, we're going to have certificates of appreciation.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
And it's good morning to Tom Wren.
A very good morning to you as well, Graham. We're going to start with more Olympic news. Boomers legend Paddy Mills has reflected on the strength of their team spirit, despite going down to Serbia in the quarterfinals in overtime, 95-90. He says it's a disappointing end to an enjoyable Olympic campaign.
This is where it brings the best out of people, teams, countries. This is why you play, for these moments. We threw everything at them, and it just wasn't our day. My full credit to Serbia, they're one hell of a team.
Audio there thanks to Nine Radio. Well, Australia has set a new world record in the velodrome. The men's pursuit setting a time of 3 minutes 40 seconds, .730.
As they charge towards the finish line, they go across in a world record time. A world record to Australia. 3:40.730. It's a world record. Unbelievable. Leigh, Welsford, Blenton, O'Brien, Billy.
Audio again there thanks to Nine Radio. The Aussies will now race Team Great Britain for the gold medal. And as we heard a little earlier, the Aussies have a 14th gold after Arissa True took out the skateboarding event. Well, Port Adelaide will get a closer look at Todd Marshall and Devan Soldo, who are both looking to return from injury when the side hits the training track today. Meantime, Melbourne's Christian Petrarca admits his recovery from a lacerated spleen, 4 broken ribs and punctured lung has been difficult both mentally and physically.
It's been probably just close to 8 weeks now, and it's been pretty difficult, both mentally and physically. Physically, being able to get the tick of approval to start running and doing gym and that last week. I can't get my heart rate above 110 because of the spleen, so my running is very, very slow.
It's a long recovery, that's for sure. Audio there thanks to Fox Footy. And that is the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate. Experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Morning there, smooth as a babies today. No great hassles getting to work, which is a great start to the day. A few roadworks to look out for, but nothing real bad, which is super. You'll find them at Mitchell Park, Dawes Road near Caramar Avenue, also at Cherry Gardens, Main Road near Black Road, and a bit of activity at Wingfield this morning, Salisbury Highway to the Wingfield ramp. Busy at the moment, the Port Expressway at Port Adelaide with a camera at Grand Scully Road at Clarendon. From school drop-off to the beach, everywhere is an adventure with a 7-seater Isuzu MUX. Visit your local Isuzu retailer today to discover the range. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
Sunny and 18 today, tomorrow 17 with showers, Friday partly cloudy 16, Saturday sunny 18. Currently, it's 8 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
An espresso arpeggio before the kids get up. Unforgettable.
An espresso Napoli before I head out to site. Unforgettable.
An espresso ristretto before I even think about opening my laptop. Unforgettable.
No matter which Nespresso is your favourite, one thing's for sure, the taste is simply unforgettable. Nespresso. What else?
Nearly 1 million Australians get a pathology test every week. Almost all these tests, like blood tests, are free because they're bulk billed. 70% of all medical decisions rely on pathology tests. Doctors depend on them to diagnose illness, disease and infection. But these services are under threat. So to keep pathology accessible for all Australians, we need funding to keep pathology bulk billed. We need our voice to be heard. Visit keeppathologybulkbilled.com.au. Authorised by LWET, Australian Pathology Canberra.
What's got Mike singing? Mike just got an energy-efficient heat pump installed by EcoVantage. Not only is it using nearly 80% less energy than his old hot water system and saving hundreds off his power bills, he got it for free. Thanks to federal and SA government incentives, you can get your own energy-efficient heat pump from just $0. Pump your energy bills down with EcoVantage. Visit ecovantage.com.au.
Hey there! If your car service is coming up, book your next service at Mawson Lakes Volkswagen. Our winter service includes battery check, a tyre check and report, brake check and report, loan vehicle, next day servicing and car wash and vacuum. All complimentary with our winter service offer. And don't forget we have free Wi-Fi, coffee and snacks if you're waiting with our express service. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, for next day servicing. Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
Did you know you can kickstart your adventure even sooner in an Austrac camper with Austrac Finance? Call 1800 797 797 and get your free quote today.
Austrac Campers. Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Visit your local Hyundai dealer for offers on a wide range of models. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
10 after 7, good morning to you if you're joining us for the first time. Beautiful sunrise over the hills this morning. The iPhone on a stick captured it magnificently. Look at the colour of that.
We've had great sunrises lately.
We have. Well, I think all this week we've had terrific sunrises.
I was always a sunset person, but this job's made me a sunrise person.
Well, we don't.
I sort of find now on the weekends, like I often still wake up early because my body clock is so attuned to starting early in the morning, and it's actually terrific. You can get more stuff done.
You get up at sunrise though?
Yeah, on the weekends I still get up about 7:15.
Do you really?
7:15, and often I'll garden for an hour before everybody else wakes up, and it's just the best feeling. Oh. That's why a lot of old people get up early. You know, a lot of people, the older they get, the earlier they get up.
Yeah, no, I get it, except for when your alarm goes off pre 5 a.m. every morning. Otherwise, then I think it's a little bit peculiar.
But you can't sleep into like 9 anymore, can you?
Yeah, easy.
Can you?
Oh yeah,
unless Rosie's got something to say about it.
Yeah, unless she's got something to say about it, and she has recently. 11 after 7, it is, of course, day 3 of the 5AA Undie Drive. This is fun. For the next hour, a unique opportunity. We usually give away on Wednesdays a Smeg appliance for the best rumour. We'll get people ringing in with their pseudonyms about what's going on around their neck of the woods. Not this morning, because today we are solely focused, of course, on the Undie Drive, raising as much money as possible for Catherine House and Hutt Street Centre.
Save your rumours for next week.
So, if you'd like to get yourself a brand new Smeg kettle,
look at that.
What is that, teal?
Yeah, it's sort of
mint
teal.
green.
Mint green. It's a bit of a teal.
Whatever it might well be, it's a magnificent kettle. It's Smeg, and you can get it for $10. You can get it for $10 for the next hour. Everyone who goes to 5AAUndiedrive.com.au and donates $10 or more is in the running to win it. We'll draw a random winner of a $10 or greater donation this hour on the program. So at 8 o'clock, we'll put everything into the copper bowl. We'll put all the names into the copper bowl of justice, and we'll draw out a winner, and someone's going to get that kettle. All you need to do is go to 5AAUndiedrive.com.au and donate $10 or more. A $10 investment for a kettle that literally lifts the value of your house once it's inside.
Absolute thing of beauty. And we were saying yesterday, it's the little donations like that make the biggest difference. The cumulative total from smaller donations is always a huge part of the overall tally. So if you can afford a tenner, folks, you are doing it for an excellent cause.
All right, we'll get Sam monitoring those as they come in. From now until 8 o'clock, every $10 or greater donation you can win. You're effectively like buying a $10 raffle ticket to get an excellent new kettle. Speaking of excellence, let's talk about the Olympics. Most of the focus, I suspect, this morning right around the country is going to be on Arissa True. And, well, it might be our youngest ever gold medalist. I think our youngest ever medalist as well, the skateboarder, 14. She speaks so well as well. Credit to herself and the country. She's a great story. But we here at 5AA are, uniquely focused on South Australian athletes and South Australian trained athletes. And I make that qualifier because our cycling track teams, we are the centre of cycling excellence in South Australia. So when we talk about the women's team pursuit, Alex Manley, Chloe Moran, Maeve Plouffe, Sophie Edwards and Georgie Baker, who qualified 6th, they're all trained here, or from here. So too, for our bronze medal winning men's team sprint, Lee Hoffman, Matthew Richardson, Matt Gleitzner, who won bronze. That's a superb effort by those gentlemen. Again, either from here, as far as Whaler in some cases, or indeed they've moved here from places like Kalgoorlie in Western Australia to train and become South Australian athletes. The cycling track men's team pursuit in the early hours of this morning were qualified. Sam Welsford, Kellen O'Brien, Connor Lay and Oliver Bledden. Coming up today in the women's basketball, we got a text about this earlier, people talking about how much the South Australians are the backbone of the Opals. Quarterfinal is on later today. Tess Madgen, Kayla George, Steph Talbot and Izzy Borlays. Wishing them all the best, now carrying the hopes of the basketball-loving Australian public. Lee Hoffman, Matthew Richardson back in action tonight in the men's sprint cycling. Christina Clonan in the women's Kieran. That's always a fun cycling event to watch. That's just before 9 o'clock tonight. And the women's team pursuits after 9 o'clock. Again, that dream team. Alex Manley, Chloe Moran, Maeve Plouffe, Sophie Edwards, Georgie Baker, either from Adelaide or trained here in Adelaide, learning their excellence at we've got our cycling centre here is just absolutely
We've
world
always
class.
punched above our weight with cycling.
Yeah, it's a big cycling.
Yeah.
Home of the Tour Down Under,
Well, of
I guess.
course, yeah.
Inspiring generations.
Absolutely.
Let's have a look at some of the other things that are going on this morning, starting with the Reserve Bank determination late yesterday. Everyone's coming to terms with now. Here's Michelle Bullock talking about the cash rate being left on hold. That's not the story, though, because we saw that coming. It's about her forecast for what's next.
The board decided to leave the cash rate unchanged. For now, the board judges that the level of the cash rate is appropriate for balancing our inflation and employment objectives, but there is still some considerable uncertainty about the outlook. And I want to highlight here that there is still a risk that inflation will take too long to return to target. So the recent CPI data were broadly in line with our expectations, our forecasts, but make no mistake, inflation is still too high, and the board does remain concerned about the degree of excess demand in the economy. Now, what I mean by that is that the amount of goods and services that households and businesses and government want to buy and need, that's more than the amount that the economy can sustainably provide.
Households, businesses and government. We know households are cutting back. We know the retail sector has been in and out of recession for the last 12 months. That leaves one big contributor to inflation there that I don't think has an easy out.
And every state jacking up debt to pay for
federal governments,
including ours.
Yep.
A good text earlier from David in Redwood Park. He says, with the numbers of baby boomers retiring increasing and the larger percentage of them being homeowners, how does the Reserve Bank think it's going to control inflation when baby boomers are going to continue spending? I think the model of using the Reserve Bank to control inflation is wrong. Would be good to see the Reserve Bank used instead to increase GST. That way every person who spends money is paying.
There's also the argument at the moment that a lot of the sticky underlying inflation factors are driven globally. They are not within the capability of Australian consumers to change the prices because they're set in because of international factors. And so people see there's a sort of inherent level of unfairness there. And again,
or futility.
Futility that might go to the weakness of the RBA's charter and what they can and can't do. They've got a job and they're doing it. Again, if there's criticism, it's the federal government because there's monetary policy, and we've done this lesson 1,000 times now. Monetary policy, the Reserve Bank, and fiscal policy, governments. Only one half of it's doing its job.
Yeah. Bottom line is, folks, if you had your heart set on a pre-Christmas rate reduction, be it you, private homeowner, or indeed the Prime Minister of Australia, you ain't going to get one.
That said, smart people they are, as they are at the RBA, super smart people, they're a bit like saying, oh, damn, Port aren't going to win the premiership because your mate who tipped 0 out of 8 last weekend says they're not going to make it.
Yeah.
The recent forecasting accuracy from the Reserve Bank hasn't been excellent, shall we say.
No. In the politics of it, it might actually, and this relates to the contents of today's Breaking 8, albeit being brought to you by a very different person, goes to federal election timing.
Absolutely.
Because there might not be a rate reduction before the federal election, if that prediction is true.
Feels like it could be an election trigger. Looking forward to Alan Jones bringing us Breaking at 8 after 8 o'clock this morning. Thanks to the $1,200 we already raised this morning, making it $3,000, triggering the Alan Jones Breaking at 8 a little bit later today. We're going to take a quick break and come back with more in just a moment. First traffic.
Thanks, Will. Roads looking okay for the run-in today. We're accident breakdown free, so you shouldn't have any hassles getting to work. It's a good start to the day. We'll find some works at Wingfield. Nothing bad, though. Salisbury, Harley, the Wingfield Ramp. Bit of activity at Clapham, Springbank Road near Alberta Avenue. And it is slow South Road through Glandore and Edwardstown for those ongoing works. Scott speeds at 40 in a few spots there. Cameras this morning, Grand Gully Road, Clarendon and Majors Road at O'Halloran Hill. A massive $576 million could be yours with the USA Mega Lotto. Hurry, draw closes in less than 3 hours. Grab your tickets now at lotteryoffice.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Matthew Pantelis.
The Premier Peter Malinauskas is here in the studio. Dave and Will have left this for me for the Undie Drive.
Oh no, I'm in trouble.
We're giving you a couple of pairs of socks.
Oh, you beauty.
The David and Will Undie Drive socks. And what we'd love probably, I'm sure, is a photo of you wearing them at some stage.
All right,
so
I'll have to make that happen.
when you get home,
Matthew Pantelis.
put on your jammies or whatever and send in a photo.
Better socks than jocks.
Yeah, that's right.
Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
There's plenty of reasons to call in and see the incredible team at Ignition for Men, and here's another. During the renovation of their car park and showroom, Ignition for Men is taking up to 40% off winter coats, jumpers, jackets and knitwear.
Ignition for Men love them. Adelaide's home of Armani, Canali and Xenia specialise in more than top brands. They specialise in making you look and feel good.
Yeah, that's right. Big savings right now at Ignition for Men, 54 Paynham Road, while stocks last.
Over 60,000 Adelaide homes have said yes to saving money on their energy bills with Yes, your energy saving solutions. What's keeping you? Did you know that you might be eligible for a rebate on a new appliance like a dryer or fridge? You might even qualify for a purchase you've already made. Just visit the Yes website for a list of appliances and the size of the cashback available. For T's and C's on this unbeatable offer from your energy saving solutions, go to yes.net.au. That's yes.net.au.
If you're a landlord, you've probably done a drive-by or two just to make sure your tenants are looking after the place, because there's nothing worse than driving past your investment and seeing a dead lawn. It is heartbreaking.
Certainly is, and that means it's time to get in touch with McGain Property Management. They're just such fantastic supporters of local, big supporters of the Undie Drive, and big supporters of both landlords and tenants, because they're the kind of property managers who ensure that your home is looked after inside and out.
Kylie and her team are only a phone call away, so why not get in touch today? McGain Property Management, your local property managers.
Fluorio Milk Company will always put SA first, and you can too. When you reach for milk, reach for Fluorio Milk Company products and support our dairy farmers and their families. We guarantee that all our milk is 100% South Australian, and it's always fresh. We have over 24 refrigerated trucks shipping Fluorio milk to cafes, restaurants and supermarkets all over SA. Look for the local in your supermarket. Fluorio Milk Company. We're for SA dairy farmers.
The Honda mid-size SUV stock clearance is on now. Get 8 years warranty and 8 years roadside assist, plus a $1,000 Ampol fuel card on 2023 build Honda ZR-V and CR-Vs. Visit us at Formula Honda to test drive today. Ampol fuel card offer valid until September 30. Different warranty applies for vehicles used for commercial purposes. T's and C's at honda.com.au. Hurry into Formula Honda. Find us at Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond, or North East Road, Modbury.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Visit your local Hyundai dealer for offers on a wide range of models. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
24 after 7, we're going to be chatting with Sean Fuster shortly. He'll be at court when we chat with him today. He's got some early cases, in fact, so we'll be conversing with him on the phone, and we'll still do around the courts. That's coming up in just a moment. And then, after 8 o'clock today, David Kosh on the program. We got Koshy's thoughts on that RBA determination yesterday. Tim Cooper from Cooper's Brewery, about the excellent Cooper's Brewery. What are they calling the facility there that they've just
I don't know if it's got a name.
It doesn't have a name.
Brewery.
It's just it's sort of a souped up tasting room / eatery, isn't it?
Yeah,
multiple restaurants.
It's like the best bar you've ever seen.
It undersells it, but I don't know what to call it.
It's not bar singular. It's 3 bars. But the other thing is, it's got a whiskey distillery that's part of it. The whiskey obviously isn't ready yet. Being whiskey, it's a few years away. But the question I reckon a lot of our listeners will have is, when can I go? Well, doors will be open to the public from August 28.
We're getting lots of donations in for the Smeg kettle. I'll just go through a few. Belinda put in $20, Sandra $15, Barbara $20, Rachel $15, and David $10. All of you are in the running to win the Smeg kettle. Every donation of $10 or more between now and 8 o'clock effectively wins a raffle ticket. All your names go into the copper pot of justice, and we will we'll draw out one.
That was the COVID pot during COVID.
It was.
When someone heard some cockamamie theory that the coronavirus couldn't survive on copper.
Yeah.
So we had to put the headphones in the copper salad bowl after the program. Did that even happen? It did, didn't it?
It actually did.
I like this one. They didn't leave a name, sadly, but it says an Undie's Drive challenge for David would be to go to a Sturt game and wear something other than moleskins, RM boots and a puffer jacket. Oh, no, it's from Ben. Ben says he just donated $50. Ben, I don't actually have a puffer jacket, but I've certainly got the other two, the Mollies and the RMs. Thanks for your donation, mate.
I can just see Sam's out in a flap out there at the moment because he's trying to keep up with all the people that are donating for the Smeg Kettle.
He's going to do a wrist.
This has been...
going to go out on RSI.
It's certainly bearing fruit for Catherine House and the Hutt Street Centre at the moment, where, of course, all our money raised for the Undie Drive goes towards those terrific causes. So you've got about another, 35 minutes to donate $10 or more and potentially win yourself a magnificent Smeg Kettle in the process. Let's talk sport. Great chat on the Sport Show last night. Rowie and Timmy G caught up with our grand final winning, back-to-back winning Thunderbirds, skipper Hannah Petty and Georgie Hodges were on the program.
Let's go back. What happened at the start? I think they had 18-4 circle feeds, and I'm thinking, oh my God, the pressure of a home final. You were the out-and-out $1 favourites. Hannah, we'll start with you. You're the skipper.
Yeah, look, I think it was just our connection was missing early on. Vixens threw a different style of defence out there that we probably weren't expecting from the first centre pass, and as soon as we had that smart timeout that Taylor called with, I think it was like 10 minutes to go in the first quarter, the connection started building from there and we were off and rolling.
It was a great effort, great result, and it's just thankless when you're that big a favourite for that big a game playing at home. You know, there's so many versions of what play out, and anything other than an absolute dominant win somehow feels like an underperformance. But under pressure against the second best team of the competition, it was just superb. Well done to the girls and getting their just desserts now and being well and truly celebrated.
It is terrific to think how I suppose netball was always one of the sports that did get reasonable coverage, but only when the Thunderbirds were doing well, like when it was back in the previous golden era. But the extent to which women's sport has now gone mainstream, it's been a huge and quite rapid, and certainly it was belated. But the change now is just extraordinary, isn't it? And you think about like the way the Matildas are the subject of full throttled scrutiny on account of such a poor performance at the games, and it shows that women's sport has kind of made it. Where
people
the
are buying in.
Can be, well, that was bitterly disappointing. We expected more.
Yeah, and then rightfully so. Coach is gone.
Yeah,
the sort of that's the nature of sport at the highest level when people are watching and people are emotionally invested, which is the important thing. It's not a fad then.
No.
People are emotionally invested, which they've been for a long time, the Thunderbirds, but take the point certainly for Matildas and some other sports as well.
Keep the donations coming, folks.
Yeah, we're going to
Smeg Kettle is right here.
We're going to do a roll call of donations.
Wow.
It's an A4 page that's quickly filling up out there, I can see. Great news for Catherine House and the Hutt Street Centre. We'll do that, and Sean Fuster is also coming up next.
For those whose pool is the main feature of their yard, Walco offer a special mesh cover to keep debris and leaves out, while making your pool area look stunning all through winter. Join the great cover-up and ask Walco about their stylish new mesh pool covers. Walco.com.au. When you're gone, who gets the things most precious to you? Like your highly valued comic book collection or your 1976 Tirana in mint condition. If you don't have a will, you'll never know. Donlan Lawyers specialise in wills and estate planning. From the simplest to the most complex, Donlan Lawyers will give effect to your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
Now, you're looking to book a winter break without breaking the bank? Well, swap the sofa for a city stay, a starry night sky, a steaming spa or an outback bar.
Reignite your sense of adventure by exploring South Australia as it comes alive in winter with fiery events, long lunches, world-class wine and awe-inspiring natural experiences. It's time to winter our way in SA with a last-minute getaway.
Imagine escaping to a cabin in the forest, cuddling around campfires, swimming with cuttlefish or treating yourself to a city hotel stay. Leave the winter blues behind with the hottest deals on accommodation and experiences.
Visit southaustralia.com/holiday-deals. SA Winter Our Way.
I'm high!
The Excelsior Hotel has always felt like home, with meals from just $12, like soup from $12 with garlic bread, Half beef or chicken schnitzels, $16. Sweet and sour pork with rice, $16. Bangers and mash, $18. 1 or 2 piece fish and chips from $16. And 250 gram porterhouse, $22. Gotta love the Excelsior Hotel lunchtime menu. Feels like coming home, but better. You just know it's a Bro Hotel.
Steinborner Automotive has always been well worth the trip, and now there's Barossa Mazda, Murray Street, Nuriutpa. SA's newest Mazda dealership is now open. For 40 years, Steinborner has provided South Australians with outstanding customer service, exceptional value, and a large selection of new, used, and demo vehicles. The Steinborner story continues with the opening of their new state-of-the-art Mazda dealership in Barossa Valley. Barossa Mazda. It's well worth the trip. barossamazda.com.au.
There's plenty of reasons to call in and see the incredible team at Ignition for Men, and here's another. During the renovation of their car park and showroom, Ignition for Men is taking up to 40% off winter coats, jumpers, jackets and knitwear.
Ignition for Men, love them. Adelaide's home of Armani, Canali and Xenia specialise in more than top brands. They specialise in making you look and feel good.
Yeah, that's right. Big savings right now at Ignition for Men, 54 Paynham Road, while stocks last.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Sunny and 18 today with the 7:30 news. I'm Graham Goodings.
Make RAA-approved windscreen repairer, Complete Windscreens, your insurer repairer of choice. Visit completewindscreens.com.au.
There have been 2 fatal road accidents overnight. Senior Constable Matt Brown says police were called to Rail Corridor Road at Hart in the Mid-East overnight.
After a pedestrian was struck by a car and a truck, and sadly the 52-year-old local man died at the scene. So the man's death was the 53rd life lost on South Australian roads.
About 2 hours later, another life was lost at Maiponga. A white Suzuki crashed into a tree and burst into flames. A 75-year-old Seaford Rise man and sole occupant of the car died at the scene. Meantime, a driver remains in a critical condition after his car collided head-on with a school bus in the Barossa Valley. The accident happened at the intersection of Stockwell Road and Penrice Roads yesterday afternoon. The driver of the Volkswagen, a 25-year-old man travelling from overseas, was flown to hospital with serious injuries. The driver of the bus, a 64-year-old man who was local, the 15 passengers on board were not injured. Arissa True has won gold in the women's skateboarding park final, making history in Paris. 9 Radio's Katie Fuller was there.
At just 14 years and 87 days old, Arissa True has a new title, Australia's youngest ever Olympic medalist, and the colour is gold. The teenager pulled out the performance of a lifetime in the women's skateboarding park final with an unbeatable top score of 93.18 in her final run. True waiting for 5 other competitors to take their turn before she secured the gold.
And it's come through! It's gold to Australia! Arissa True!
The young athlete says she's over the moon.
I'm feeling really excited and happy, and I just can't believe it.
Japan came in second, Britain third.
More Olympic news in sport with Tom Wren. The Reserve Bank has dashed hopes of an interest rate cut this year. The RBA board has left the official cash rate on hold at 4.35%. The central bank says rates are unlikely to come down until inflation eases further. Australian Retirement Trust Chief Economist Brian Parker is expecting some rate relief next year.
We think by the first quarter of next year you'll see enough signs that the inflation rate is heading back towards the central bank's target, but also I think you're likely to see further weakness in the economy, and that should give them enough ammunition to cut interest rates during the first quarter.
The US says ceasefire negotiations in Gaza are at a decisive moment as it works to avoid an escalation of the Middle East conflict. There are fears of a broader regional war after the assassination of senior Hamas and Hezbollah officials. Iran and its allies are threatening to punish Israel, which is believed to be behind the killings. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says there's been intense diplomacy in a bid to avoid further bloodshed.
Over the past few days, we've been in constant contact with partners in the region and well beyond. In those conversations, we've heard a clear consensus. No one should escalate this conflict.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderroll Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderroll.com.au.
More gold in Paris, Tom.
It's great, isn't it, Graham? And as we heard in your bulletin just a little bit earlier, the 14-year-old skateboarder Arissa True has won Australia's 14th gold medal at the Paris Olympics. True put together a near-perfect final run to take the top spot women's park final. Her father says it was a major relief after Arissa stumbled on her opening run.
Yeah, just happy she landed a run. Yeah, that's all we were happy. You know, she did what she set out to do, and it was just her day. But yeah, God, amazing.
Audio thanks to Nine. Veteran diver Melissa Wu hasn't made a call on her future just yet. The 32-year-old has finished 11th in the final of the 10-metre platform in her 5th Olympics. Wu says for now she's only focused on being a good teammate in Paris.
For me, I think just a long break now and just enjoying the rest of my time here, cheering on teammates. We've got a big week ahead of more divers. Curtis through to the semi after a great performance this morning, so ready to be cheer squad. Hopefully lose my voice for the next few days cheering them on.
Audio there again thanks to Nine Radio. 17-year-old Ellie Cole finished 7th in the same event. And the Boomers have gone down in a heartbreaking loss to Serbia in the quarterfinals of the basketball. Leading by 24 points, the Aussies lost in overtime, 95-90. Let's go to football, and Port Adelaide's hoping to capitalise on the momentum of last weekend's incredible 112-point win. That was against the ladder leading Sydney. The Power are currently in 3rd spot, but must win to hold their place in the top 4. Veteran Travis Boak telling Fox Footy's AFL 360 the result gives them enormous belief.
I think what that does for our team is certainly a lot of confidence, not necessarily just the result, but the way we played. I think confidence in our style of footy that can match it against the best sides.
The Crows will have a quiet day ahead of their match on Sunday against the Bulldogs at home, while Carlton's Matt Cottrell, his season is over after suffering a fractured shoulder in Saturday's loss to Collingwood. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Crafers West got a 5-car smash on the freeway to the Mees Days ramp. Really big delays as you're heading into the city. Slow for works at Chandler's Hill, Sugarloaf Road near Main Road, busy at Clapham, Springbank Road near Alberta Avenue, and slow for works at Mawson Lakes, Salisbury Hole near Eldersmith Road. Camera, Black Road, O'Halloran Hill. Freedom's Ultimate Sofa Sale and Sunday, get 10 to 50% off all leather and fabric sofas. That's every sofa in every size, style and colour. Only at Freedom, home of sofas. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
18 and sunny today. Tomorrow showers 17, Friday partly cloudy 16, and Saturday sunny 18. It's currently 9 degrees in Adelaide. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Visit your local Hyundai dealer for offers on a wide range of models. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
22 minutes to 8. Tom's called it in the program on 8223 Tom, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thanks, Tom.
Just sort of update you on the status of the freeway. There's been a 7-car accident on the down track just below the Mees Days Bridge exit. Airbags have all been deployed. Everyone's standing outside the vehicle, so that's okay. There's a lot of ambulance, police and fire engines in attendance. Looks like everyone's okay, but I think it's going to be slow going through there. You can take the Mees Days Bridge exit if you need to come down as well.
All right.
Good advice, Tom. We appreciate that, mate. As we always say, our listeners are our eyes and ears out there on the road, so we appreciate the call.
Good on you, Tom.
It's time to go around the courts with Sean Fuster on 5AA Breakfast.
Tell you what, just before we get to Sean, just having a look at the list of names coming in. A lot of people in the running to win the Smeg Kettle. $10 is all you're required to donate at 5AAUndyDrive.com.au to get you a slice of the action. We're going to draw the names out at 8 o'clock this morning. Sean Fuster joins us. I think he's just... Was it last night, Sean, or over the last couple of days that you had one of your excellent public events?
Yes, boys, good morning. It was last night, all with thanks to the City of Norwood, Payneham and St Peters for putting on the annual Raising the Bar event. It was the 4th time that Daniel and I for Just Lawful got to do it, and we had a sold-out crew at the Little Bang Brewery in Stepney. It was a really good night, so massive thanks to everyone who came along for that. Massive thanks to Simon and all the staff from the council and Mayor Robert Breer for making it happen. It was a bloody fantastic night.
Excellent. Little Bang Brewery, good venue to hold it as well. Hey,
really
Sean,
good.
We're going to talk about this drug dealer who made a $500,000 claim against SAPOL for forceful arrest. Now, I saw the video of this, and he might have got duffed up a little bit, but shouldn't there be some legal principle that if you're involved in nefarious activities, you might expect to use a notorious line from the South Australian legal history, a bit of rougher than usual handling?
It's one of those quirky questions, isn't it? Because we think to ourselves, what's necessary, what's actually reasonable, what would we expect to see out of our police force? But according to Rhys Johns, who's currently inside doing a 5.5-year stint for trafficking in meth, he says that he got roughed up far too much. If you watch the video, which is available on the advertiser's website, one of the claims that Johns makes is that he was struck a total of 19 times, including after he was already taken to the ground and, in his words, under control of police. He says he wasn't resisting arrest in any way, and they just kept hitting him. He says they also, and you can see this on the video, one of the officers OC sprays his dog. The dog comes up wagging its tail to have a look at what's going on and cops a face full of OC spray. When Johns actually went before the district court for sentencing, when he copped his 5.5 years, the judge noted in sentencing his arrest was forceful, and he'd lost 80% of the vision in one of his eyes as a result of it. So he filed this $500,000 lawsuit from prison, and as of yesterday, guys, it looks like the police aren't going to fight it.
I just struggle with the whole concept of it, given that he wasn't going peacefully. He wasn't cooperating with the police. They needed to put up a bit of a fight to control the bloke.
Yeah, look, originally when police were defending this, they started by saying we've done absolutely nothing wrong. Then they altered their position to saying, yes, absolutely, there was some biffo, but that biffo was necessary because Johns was, 1, a known violent offender, 2, being arrested while on home detention bail for other offending, having been caught with meth. 3, you can see him throwing a bum bag full of meth onto the roof when police arrive on his own CCTV footage. And 4, was a resisting arrest throughout the incident. So that was their original position. But when I went to court yesterday, I'm waiting for it to be called on, and it turned out that the matter isn't going to get called on as a result of the fact that apparently it is settling secretly, is what I was told by people at the courthouse. So,
which means, doesn't it, Sean, not fighting it doesn't mean agreeing to $500,000, though?
Well, I'm going to say I hope not, because at the end of the day, all these sort of settlements are confidential. So we're never going to find out as taxpayers and as members of the community exactly what has been agreed to behind closed doors and under lock and key. But it could be anywhere up to that full amount.
What's the argument in this case for making it secret? It sounds like it's something that should be wholly in the public domain. I mean, if it's got to the point where, the taxpayers have to foot the bill for some drug-dealing scumbag who's done himself a mischief on account of his own criminal activities, we should know that, shouldn't we?
Look, it's interesting because last night's whole conversation at Little Bang was about the intersection between public interest and what the public is interested in. But I agree, this is the sort of matter where you'd think there'd be some sort of accounting from even the government to say, look, yes, we are going to finalise this matter. No, we're not going to finalise it for the full amount. It's going to be this or it's going to be that. Because, as you say, we're the ones actually copping that in our taxes.
Yeah, we've got a dog in the fight.
Well, exactly. We've got more than dog in the fight. We have to pay for the entire dog.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's not like this is going to necessarily come out of, and I say this with all due respect to SAPOL, it's not like it's going to come out of some SAPOL budget line. It's going to come out of somewhere in the taxpayer funds. And, where is that money coming from? Let's say if he even got half of what he's asked for, that's still a heck of a chunk of change to try to find in the state budget.
You could always say that it's sort of or falls into the proceeds of crime, because he wouldn't have made this money if he hadn't been breaking the law. It's crazy.
So we're going to stiff the Victims of Crime Fund again for something like that?
I don't know.
I mean, that's where that money's not being spent on the people it should be spent on anyway, let alone on this.
Yeah, I know you say didums do in Latin, but I think that should have been the judge's response in this case. Chuck it out, Your Honour. Excellent stuff as always, Sean. Sean Fuster, the chief court reporter, of course, for the Adelaide Advertiser. What a sookie lala.
Yeah, I think...
Have we become that soft as a society that even so-called hardened, meth-addled criminals are going to turn around and complain that they've done themselves a mischief?
You're right, though, about why is it a secret?
Why
it's
is it a
taxpayers'
secret?
money.
Yeah, it's
our
our
not
money.
Commercial in confidence.
No,
we're not going to be negotiating the next police brutality story, are we?
Yeah, it's not gather round.
Yeah.
It's not the Live Golf Tournament. That's crazy.
that requires further explanation, I think.
We should ask the Commissioner next time he's in.
Yeah,
he won't tell us. We're probably not allowed to. Maybe he doesn't even know.
It's taxpayers' money. What are we talking about here? This is ridiculous.
Well, it might not even come out of SAPOL. It might come out of Attorney Generals or something like that.
Yeah. I think people have a right to know. 15 minutes to wait. Our text line number is going off this morning, 0448 08 1395. Dutton's car dealerships in the Adelaide Hills and Murray Bridge. Dutton's easy to do business with. All right, we'll get to some of those in just a moment.
My computer seized up.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it's gone all foggy on me.
Cloud strike.
Yeah.
All right, let's
cloud strike.
let's check traffic. We'll heat it up and come back in just a moment.
I just have to type password 1 in again, I think.
Thanks, Will. Got a 5-car collision at the moment at Crayfors West. It's on the freeway down Trick and the Mees Days ramp. Really solid delays in there at the moment. Works at Blair to look out for. Russell Street near Sheoak Road. Slow at Mitchell Park. Dawes Road near Carramar Avenue. And getting busy South Road at Theberton. Cameras Fox Creek Road, Cuddly Creek and Gorge Road at Paracombe. The Audi demonstrator clearance is on now with exceptional opportunities on select demonstrator models at your Audi dealer until August 31. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Companies and small business that use one solution for their IT management, cybersecurity and AI implementation are always ahead of the curve and ready for anything. One Solution is local too, a full-service technology company right here in Adelaide, offering a diverse range of solutions across IT, telecommunications, phone and mobile systems, cybersecurity and AI. Today, more than ever, it's important to safeguard your business. Do it with One Solution. onesolution.net.au, a Platinum Telstra partner.
Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift.
Deliver more with Toyota, the world's #1 forklift brand. Choose from a great range including pallet jacks, walkie stackers and reach forklifts, right up to their leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options. Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Get a Toyota forklift.
In Adelaide, with weather as low as 1 and 2 degrees, we do winter properly, and considering we've still got a fair bit of winter to go, it might be worth upgrading the things that keep you warm.
Tell you what, you needed it earlier today, be it heaters, hot water systems, gas heating, lighting or switchboard maintenance, Precise Plumbing and Electrical have got you covered so you won't feel the cold. With a range of specials, free quotes and no obligation fixed pricing, now's the time to give the great guys at Precise Plumbing and Electrical a call. Their priority is your warmth all winter long, plus they offer a lifetime workmanship warranty.
With 700 plus reviews and an average of 4.9 stars, you're in safe hands with Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Give them a call on 1300 700 200, that's 1300 700 200.
It's funny how we wash our cars, but washing our biggest investment, our homes, we never think about. Keeping your home's exterior clean is critical to longevity and less maintenance. It's a big and potentially dangerous job for homeowners, but not for Fresh Front. Our team of highly skilled operators transform tired-looking homes into wow-looking homes. The before and after shots are stunning. Getting set for sale, cleaning up for a celebration, or home maintenance. Freshfront.com.au. Looks like new.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Visit your local Hyundai dealer for offers on a wide range of models. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
12 minutes to wait, still 12 minutes to get your raffle ticket to buy or have a chance of winning this magnificent Smeg kettle. Just $10 if you donate it to 5AADrive.com.au. That puts you in the running. Lots of people already in the running. We're going to draw the name out of the Copper Bowl of Justice just before 8 o'clock this morning.
Keep it coming, folks. We've made several $100 already, but we want to make more.
Absolutely. Catherine Nelson, Hutt Street Centre, the beneficiaries. Let's head out to Jade Robran, thanks to Dutton's. Morning, Jade.
Good morning, guys. I am down here in the city, in the train station. I'm on the Foodland live stream. If you turn around here, there you go. You can see exactly where I am. All those beautiful people coming out of the train station, heading to work. If we turn around here, right across the way, we are at the Guardsman. So pop in and grab your coffee because these wonderful friends of ours are donating all proceeds to the Undie Drive this week, which is absolutely sensational. We're so so grateful. And joining me from Sky City is Amy Lowe. Amy, thank you so much. How's trade going?
Trade's been really good this week. We've had a bit more pickup, obviously supporting the Undie drive, so we're really hoping that a few more people come in this week and support a great cause.
You've got a very generous announcement to make. What's that?
So our boss here at Sky City, Avril Baines, has just announced she will match anything we make here in the cafe with a cash donation.
That is sensational. So just say we make $1,500 worth of coffees from the Guardsmen. They will double that to make it $3,000. So we are so grateful. Thank you so much.
That's
Why
fantastic.
do you want to be on board? What's this cause? Why does it mean so much to you guys here at Sky City?
Especially during now in such a tough economic climate, it's really important that we're supporting people and causes like Catherine House. So it feels really good and we're more than happy to do our part.
You're an absolute legend. Thank you so much to you guys here at Sky City. So it is at the Guardsman. Beautiful cakes, beautiful coffee. Guys, you can see these socks. I've used them for another purpose today. I've got them on as gloves because it is freezing out here today. But fantastic news. All proceeds from the Guardsman, they go to our FIVEAA Undie Drive. Of course, raising much needed funds for the Hutt Street Centre and also Catherine House. Guys, I'm going to jump in the car now. I'm heading over to the Kent Town because they have a huge announcement to make about their schnitty dish. Proceeds from that is going to go to our Undie Drive as well. So stay tuned.
Excellent.
Tell you
work,
what,
Joe.
they're the fashion accessory that's sweeping the state. I'd hate to be in the gloves business this morning because the FIVEAA Undie Drive socks,
they work really well.
and now
those
being
gloves.
worn as mittens.
Yeah, no, it's mitten weather.
Because you'd want pictures of jocks on your mittens.
You do.
That's-
you do.
that's
And
a-
until yesterday, well, Monday, you couldn't actually
You
do
couldn't get that. It's a
No.
niche market that's finally been sated.
Brilliant report, Jade. Great work by the excellent people at Sky City. Fantastic generosity on their part and excellent use of the sock by Jade.
You can go to roughsleeper.com.au, buy yourself a pair of the socks, $20, and it all goes towards
Well,
Catherine House and Hutt Street Centre.
I'll tell you what, if you're thinking of a bit of a stocking stuffer for Dad for Father's Day, which
my
is coming
goodness.
up, September the 1st, just, people laugh about socks and Father's Day, but throw a pair of these into the mix and it'll be a nice little...
Well, the joke always is you get Dad jocks and socks.
Yeah.
Do you get him socks with pictures of jocks on them?
You've never been able to.
You've never been able to until
It's a
now, and
new
you'll
thing.
never be able to again. These are limited edition, these socks.
Yeah, but it's
And you'll feel good knowing in the process someone's been helped with a very generous donation.
It's like having an MND beanie, a big freeze beanie.
Exactly
Like
right.
It's in that same sort of space, isn't it?
I would suggest. I think some people are holding off on the socks at the moment because they think they're going to be around forever. There's a limited number and they're a limited edition. I would get in today because they're going to run out by Friday.
Yeah.
We'll run out of them.
There's
so
a
get in now.
finite supply.
Exactly.
We don't have some-
Roughsleeper.com.au is the place to go.
We don't have some bottomless sock pit.
No. We don't have a factory in China that's pumping these things out.
That's right.
Sam Daddo's hand stitching them out there. 8223. No, he's not. 8223 0000. You can text us on the Dutton's text line as well, 0480081395. Whilst we've been speaking, the Democratic Republican nominee, Vice President Kamala Harris, has just held a rally. She, in the last few hours, has also announced that Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, will be her VP running mate. Let's have a quick listen into what's happening.
And to all the friends, listen, we also need to level set. We are the underdogs in this race. But we have the momentum, and I know exactly what we are up against. Now, many of you know, before I was elected vice president or elected a United States senator, I was an elected attorney general, and before that, elected district attorney. And before that, I was a courtroom prosecutor. So in those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women. Fraudsters who scammed consumers. Cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Trump's type.
It's been the consistent messaging since Kamala Harris was the likely Democrat nominee. It's now been made official over the weekend with that breaking news on Tim Walz being her vice presidential running mate.
It's such a dispiriting contest, though, isn't it? Like, you hear all of the things that she said. And also, Tim Walz said a couple of weeks ago, he described Trump and Trump's VP candidate, what's his name?
J.D. Vance.
J.D. Vance. He described them both as weirdos.
Mm.
And that went off on
went
TikTok.
viral.
And, people were going, he's called them weirdos. Is this whole thing a competition about who can call their opponents the biggest names?
Yeah, it seems that way.
The rudest names? Like, there's actually very little policy that's being discussed at all. I don't know if it's that smart an idea for Kamala Harris to keep talking about her track record in the law, given that the city where she practiced law, San Francisco, is now probably the best example of small L liberal policy failure in the world. That the entire city is overrun with drug addicts and people who are wholly dysfunctional, and that parts of that once great city are now total no-go zones. Like, you wouldn't think about walking around Union Square at night. And so much of that. There's a really good book about it called San Francisco by this guy who was a liberal progressive who actually had this epiphany. He woke up one morning and thought, maybe we actually need to start telling people to sort themselves out and stop handing out drugs and, or allowing people to take drugs without being challenged, without being told, hey, you can't keep doing this in public, defecating in alleyways and, so, and this is where Trump's interesting, where he's trying to really hammer Harris over being Californian. Because there was a poll the other day showing that something like 50% of Americans regard California as like not part of the US anymore. So to get to people in, Idaho and Nebraska and all of that, it's probably not a bad line for him to really go after her on that sort of.
Well, it's why Gavin Newsom didn't emerge as an opportunity this time to be the head of the Democrats, despite the fact that he's beloved in that part of that political circle in the US, is because of that California link. Geography might play a big role in why Walz was ultimately picked as the running mate. Minnesota was won by Joe Biden at the last election, but the critical swing states it is considered still a battleground state. It's close enough to go either way, but Wisconsin and Michigan flipped to Biden from Trump, and that's effectively where the election was won. Pennsylvania too, but that Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, northern part of America, where Walz is strong. He's got Minnesota. He's obviously the governor there. So
is he a conservative Democrat though?
He has historically. He's voted what they call he's almost
like a Labor right person.
Yeah. I was going to say he's voted red, shall we say, to use their sort of parlance on a number of things historically. So much so, and it's changed recently. But this is a great example of the cultural difference between the US. One of the many cultural differences between the US and Australia. Certainly when it comes to something like politics. He was a big Second Amendment guy, a big pro-guns guy historically. So much so he got this gong. He got a spot on the Guns and Ammo magazine's 2016 list of the top 20 politicians for gun owners. Now, subsequently, he got scored an F by the NRA for his view on guns, but at one time he was a big gun guy. I think he went rural to city. He's a historic. He ticks a lot of boxes for US politics. He's a veteran, distinguished service. He was a National Guardsman as well. What
a feather in your cap getting plaudits from Guns and Ammo magazine.
Can you believe they released a list of the top 20?
What a masthead, though.
What a thing.
What do you subscribe to? Gourmet Traveller, Vogue Entertaining, and Guns and Ammo.
Guns and Ammo.
Guns and Ammo.
All right.
What a country.
Sam Daddo's in the studio. He's got the copper bowl, the COVID-proof copper bowl, from which no wrong names are ever drawn, about to announce the winner of the Smeg kettle.
Yep, so in the last 60 minutes, we've had 23 donations to a total of $408.
Nice.
So that's what the total is. Excellent. And if I get David as my barrel girl to read out the winner of the Smeg kettle.
Barrel person, Sam.
Oh, sorry,
2024.
David. Sorry, David.
And the winner is Sharon Weeks.
Shazza!
Shazza!
Brand new kettle coming your way.
Now, because
that was popular.
Very popular, and because I dug around out under Lucy's desk. She's got all the Smeg appliances there hidden away. I found...
A toaster.
So for the next hour, we're going to double down again.
Yes.
Anyone who donates $10 or more in the next hour goes in the running to win a Smeg toaster.
Oh, that is
Alrighty?
magnificent. Good
We've
work.
got Smeg products everywhere.
How good is Smeg?
Here.
Debney Distributors, wonderful
That
supporters
is
of
a
the Undie
superb
Drive.
looking I haven't seen it in the pink before.
Yes, you have, David.
Have I? Okay.
And keep listening, because after 8 o'clock, Breaking at 8 with Alan Jones, and straight after, I'll give you a preview. Challenge Bowl will appear after Breaking at 8, so keep listening.
Catch all the action from the Olympic Games in Paris as 5AA brings you Nine's coverage live each evening from 11:30. Don't miss a minute of the action as our Aussie stars set their sights on gold medal glory. Tune in tonight following Leith Forest as we cross to France for Nine's coverage. Paris 2024, live from 11:30 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Don't let the sun set on your energy savings. With NRG Solar's cutting-edge batteries, your energy independence lasts long after sunset. Enjoy the freedom of solar, even when you're not home. Experience the future of energy. NRG Solar's new warehouse is fully stocked with wholesale solar and battery equipment. See it for yourself. NRG Solar, 1275 South Road, St Mary's, or call 1300 858 160 to explore a brighter, more sustainable tomorrow.
The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny and 18 today with the 8 o'clock news. Good morning. I'm Graham Goodings.
Chipped windscreen? RAA approved repairer Complete Windscreens repairs it from just $99. Find the big red koala.
It's been a horror night on our roads with 2 deaths and another person fighting for life. A 52-year-old man died after being struck by a car and a truck at Hart in the mid-north. About 2 hours later, another life was lost at Maiponga. Senior Constable Matt Brown says emergency services were called after reports a white Suzuki sedan had crashed into a tree on Main South Road and burst into flames.
Emergency services attended the scene and fire crews extinguished the blaze, but the driver and sole occupant sadly died at the scene.
The 75-year-old Seaford Rise man's death is the 54th life lost on South Australian roads this year. Meantime, a man is fighting for life after a Volkswagen crashed head-on with a school bus in the Barossa Valley yesterday afternoon. None of the occupants of the bus were injured. The parents of Australia's youngest Olympic medalist have struggled to find the words to describe the achievement. 14-year-old Arissa True has won gold in the women's park skateboarding. Her father says their Olympic dream started from very basic beginnings.
Just going out and having fun and enjoying the sport and, just being active and having a good time. That's all we've ever encouraged her to do, have friends and enjoy skating, surfing, everything.
Audio thanks to Nine Radio. More Olympic news coming up in sport with Tom Wren. Red tape is delaying the Albanese government's cost of living handout as power giants await approval to apply new rebates to bills. Treasurer Jim Chalmers has approved a $300 a household rebate scheme to be split over 4 quarterly payments. The Advertiser is reporting a legal document that requires state and federal sign-offs in Victoria, New South Wales and South Australia has not yet been finalised. A leading economist is welcoming the Reserve Bank's decision to keep interest rates on hold. Rates remain at 4.35%, the 6th consecutive time the central bank has left rates on hold since November 2023. AMP Deputy Chief Economist Diana Musina says it was the right call but could have gone either way.
I think it was the right decision to keep rates on hold. I mean, that was universally expected basically, but there was some risk of a hike given that the Reserve Bank's been a little bit more worried about inflation in the past few months.
Older doctors could be forced to undergo health checks to ensure they're fit to treat patients. Data suggests GPs over the age of 70 are 81% more likely to be the subject of a complaint than their younger counterparts. Dr Anne Tonkin from the Medical Board of Australia says evidence-based tests will be brought in to better protect patients while avoiding age discrimination.
70 is the age that we've picked for our consultation, and we know that the data shows us that over 70 we start to get many more complaints about doctors than in the under 70s.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren, and all going well at the Olympics.
It's going magnificently, isn't it, Graham? It's been a great couple of weeks so far. Australia currently sitting third on the medal tally in Paris with 14 gold medals. The most recent won by 14-year-old Arissa True in the women's skateboarding, as we heard just a little earlier. And Australia will have a shot at winning a beach volleyball medal with the women's team through to the semi-finals. They've defeated Switzerland 2-1.
It's been called out. I'm sure there'll be a challenge. The Aussies think it's long. They're celebrating. It's out, and the Australians through to the semi-finals.
Yeah, great stuff. Audio thanks to Nine Radio. On the athletics track, Jessica Hull and Georgia Griffith have qualified for the women's 1500-metre semi-finals. Reece Holder has finished 5th in his semi-final for the men's 400 metres. More good news as the Stingers are through to the women's water polo semi-finals. The Stingers beat Greece 9-6 to advance. But in the basketball, the Boomers have surrendered a 24-point lead to go down to Serbia in the men's basketball quarterfinals, 95-90. And the boxer at the centre of the Olympic gender dispute is through to the gold medal final. Iman Khalif, who hasn't lost a round, will fight for gold after winning her semi-final 5-0. Let's go to football. Port Adelaide will train this morning with Todd Marshall and Ivan Soldo, both a chance to be considered after returning from injury, along with Jed McEntee, who's set to come out of concussion protocols. To soccer, local NPL side, the Modbury Jets have gone down to Fitzroy City in penalties, meaning they've been knocked out of the Australia Cup competition. South Australia's men have a new cricket coach for next season after Ryan Harris was appointed to the top job. He takes over from Jason Gillespie. And performances on the US-based PGA Tour will now count directly towards qualification for the European team. That's for next year's Ryder Cup in America. Live golf events still will not count towards qualification. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Morning there, got a nasty 5-car smash at Crayfus West. It's on the freeway down track near the Mees Days ramp. Got really heavy delays back almost to Stirling at the moment. Slow for works at Wingfield too. Salisbury Highway to the Wingfield ramp. And getting busy at South Road at Karata Park. That's just due to works. Cameras Nairn Road Woodside and Swamp Road at Lenswood. Check out what's fresh at your local IGA this week. Pre-packed strawberries, 250 grams, $3.99 each. Participating IGA stores until August 13 or while stocks last. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automaster's technician.
Sunny at 18 today, tomorrow 17 with showers, Friday partly cloudy 16, and Saturday sunny at 18. Currently in Adelaide it's 9. More news as it happens on 5AA.
There's plenty of reasons to call in and see the incredible team at Ignition for Men, and here's another. During the renovation of their car park and showroom, Ignition for Men is taking up to 40% off winter coats, jumpers, jackets and knitwear.
Ignition for Men love them. Adelaide's home of Armani, Canali and Xenia specialise in more than top brands. They specialise in making you look and feel good.
Yeah, that's right. Big savings right now at Ignition for Men, 54 Paynham Road, while stocks last.
I'll grab a few people I know. We'll mark out some places to go. There's no invitation, just a destination, and that's the best freedom I know. Jump in the Jayco. Jump in the Jayco. Yeah, that's the best freedom I know.
Beechwood Homes, Adelaide's leading bespoke home builder, celebrates 35 years. Over that time, they've helped many hundreds of people realise their dream of building a home exactly how they envisioned it. That's the wonderful thing about building with Beechwood. There are no set plans, no set rules. It all starts with a pen, paper, and your ideas. Just like it did 35 years ago. If you can dream it, Beechwood Homes can build it. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA.
Visit your local Hyundai dealer for offers on a wide range of models. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
9 minutes after 8. Last hour, it went off. The Smega pints, $10 a pop. Any donation to 5AA Undie Drive got you in the running to win it. We had a stack of people, so we're doing it again. We got the toaster,
Do it again.
and already a stack of donations coming in. Any donation, $10 or greater, will put you in the running to win that toaster. We'll draw a name out just before 9 o'clock, so get that happening now. 5AAUndiedrive.com.au is the way to do it. Remember, too, you can get a token at Foodland Supermarkets for $2. You can buy those excellent socks/mittens, as we've discovered this morning.
They work just as well as mittens.
Roughsleeper.com.au, limited
just
edition.
have to put them on your feet, Will.
Few people have texted us saying they're going to the Guardsman to go get a coffee with friends.
Yeah.
Because all the proceeds are going to...
Well, Rick's coming all the
Undie
way
Drive.
from Aldinga Beach.
That's right.
He
And what's
said,
more...
I'm meeting friends tomorrow in town for a coffee and a snack, and I've suggested the Guardsman as the proceeds will go to Hutt Street. So if you're catching up with friends this week, do it at the Guardsman.
And Sky City are going to match those donations too.
They are.
So it's an incredible donation. Big thanks to our major sponsor for the 5AA Undie Drive, McGain Property Management, the kind of property managers that ensure your home is looked after inside and out. They make the whole thing possible. Yesterday, we did something that we'd never done before for the Undie Drive. We opened it up to the listeners by popular request. We asked, well, what would be a challenge you'd like to see completed if a certain threshold was reached? $3,000 was reached in aid of this, a very special Breaking at 8.
Well, good morning, Sydney. Now, if the Albanese government was a dog, you would have put it down years ago. If politics was Olympic sport, this useless, reprehensible government would have a gold medal for one thing and one thing only: letting illegal immigrants run rampant on our streets and attack us in our homes. But today I can reveal that Australians will soon have their chance to give Mr Anthony Albanese his day of reckoning. I've been told that the Prime Minister has locked in Saturday, March 1 as election day. And without wishing to sound biased, it's high time we put Mr Albanese into a chaff bag and threw him into the sea. I'm Alan Jones. Now a word from our sponsors. Erectile dysfunction can strike at any time.
Thank you, Dave.
Absolutely superb.
I'm serious about the election day.
Yeah, so March 1. Geez, Alan gets good mail, doesn't he?
He does get good mail because he talks to everyone. He's incredibly plugged in. But Alan told me that people had told him, particularly in light of a lot of eyes were focused on the Reserve Bank stuff yesterday, and with no chance of a rate reduction in 2024, Albo's going to go full term, is the view, and that March 1 is the likely date. So there you go.
Where does that place it with regard to state elections then? Anything between... When's Queensland?
Good question. Because you want Queensland out of the way.
The bloodletting that's going to
I
happen
think
in
Queensland will have happened.
Queensland's
this year, isn't it?
I believe so. Just trying to think what the actual date is. The 2024, 26th of October. So it's well and truly, it'll be well out of the way by then.
And Victoria won't happen till later. We're
the year later, March.
Featuring, yeah. New South Wales isn't featuring.
Yeah.
Western Australia's a bit whatever.
March 1.
So there you go. Thank you, Alan, for that. Thank you, Dave, from Melbourne.
Plug it into your calendar.
Plug it in.
Well, with one challenge out the way, it means there's more on the way. This is very different. The Undie Drive Challenge Bowl is not made of copper and is thus covered in COVID.
Yeah, that's right.
Sam, good morning to you.
COVID distribution
David,
system.
Will, good morning again.
How are you, Sam?
We all know SMEG. Keep donating. Any donation above $10, you'll go into the running for the SMEG toaster. But it is that time again of the morning where we delve into the Challenge Bowl and we'll see who is it for.
I like how
I'm just
the sound
texting
effects.
Dave from Melbourne. He's a funny bastard.
Now, if we raise $5,000 before 9 a.m.
$5,000?
$5,000 before 9 a.m.
You've upped the ante there, Sambo.
You'll soon find out why. Will Goodings.
Yeah, here we go.
I think David's catching on. You are going to perform a rhythmic gymnastics routine after the show.
Sorry? Sorry?
Excellent.
Why?
It's a well-documented fact that you love your ribbons. Rowie has been harking on about it for a few weeks now.
One throwaway line.
This is a stitch-up.
Weekly chat with Fitzy, and it's taken on a life
This
of
is a
its own.
stitch-up.
So $5,000 before 9. We'll have some ribbons.
Hang on a second. So, in the long history of the Challenge Bowl, we have typically come unstuck for dumb things we've said or done ourselves. David Penworthy, can I just ask you this? With your troops mashed at the banks of the Rubicon, do you want to march over into a brand new world where now you're challenged on the basis of things other people can say about you?
Oh, dear.
Because
Oh,
that
dear.
gives me 12 months to say any damn remarkable and outrageous thing.
Yeah. Oh, well, I can't help the fact that having thrown it out as a matey sort of piss-takey one-liner, that it's taken on a life of its own. And
here's the thing.
It's become one of those things that just, if people believe in it, maybe it's true.
It's new and exciting times.
What's that thing in politics if you get someone to deny it?
Oh, yeah, the LBJ thing about the pig and the farmer.
Exactly right.
I want him to deny it. No one's going to believe that, Lyndon.
Here's
I know,
the thing.
I want him to deny it.
We raise $5,000 and you find me a damn ribbon.
Challenge accepted.
That had a sort of Jack Nicholson-esque quality to it. That was superb.
5AAndydrive.com.au.
What's that line we were
$5,000
talking about yesterday?
In which film?
From A Few Good Men.
You're goddamn right I did.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you order the code red, Colonel Jessup? Love it. All right, let's check. Trey,
You're goddamn right, I love rhythmic gymnastics.
I've got to Google a rhythmic gymnastics routine.
Don't pretend you haven't already got the outfit.
You got, I told you, my friend. It's a brand new world you've entered.
You should get me to reenact something that happened on a houseboat in 1988.
Well, there are some things we simply cannot broadcast.
Should we do suey?
Do you want to do some Dutton's texts?
Yes. Quite a lot of chat about American politics along the usual partisan lines. Some messages along these. Go, girl, Kamala, screw those conservative scumbags in the election, and conversely, wow, Kamala Harris VP choice, Tim Waltz, another woke left-wing nutter, look him up. That's from Apache. A lot of comment about the payout, undisclosed payout that the drug dealer is going to get. Overwhelmingly people querying it. But one here offering a different view from Andrew, who says, having seen the video of the police arrest of the meth dealer, I thought their behaviour was below the expected standard, and it did result in permanent 80% sight loss. They need to do better in what is a tough job. I do support the police overall, but this is an unacceptable aberration. Thanks for that, Andrew.
Keep the text coming in, 0480081395. Ian has called in. Good morning to you, Ian.
Morning, how are you?
Yeah, we're good, thanks, Ian. How are you going, mate?
We'd like Sam and Ian from Rundle Blinds.
Oh, I was going to say, Ian from Rundle Blinds there. How are you going?
Yeah, very well. We'd like to contribute to the cause, and we'd like to donate $1,000.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic.
And importantly, we're looking forward to seeing some gymnastics, a.k.a. Simone Biles style, please.
I don't know if it's going to be quite that good. Hey, Ian, that is extremely generous, mate. And you guys are a great business. I've been into your showroom. You guys did some work for me many years ago before we even had any sort of commercial relationship with AA. And when you started advertising, I remember going, oh, these guys are good. So,
Well,
good on
happy
you.
to be on board.
Good on you,
Have a
Ian.
good
That's
day.
an incredibly generous donation, and Ronald Blinds and Curtains do such a wonderful job as well.
Yeah.
Use them before myself. They do a terrific.
They're good. They're really good.
So, $1,000.
They've won heaps of awards for their showroom.
$4,000 away we are from... Someone said through, I think this is an important point. David says, Will doing gymnastics, some things cannot be unseen. You're right. You're right.
Is it going to be like HG and Roy in the year 2000? Do I have to do the commentary?
I think some people sometimes don't know...
Crazy date,
what they're
Hello,
asking
boys.
for. Now, what Rhythmic's not...
Shut the gate.
Rhythmic is not...
Floor is the one which brought us Crazy Date and the Dutch.
Yeah, but Rhythmic's different. Isn't Rhythmic like dancing?
How funny was the games in 2000? That was
Superb.
just the best television
Fatso
in
the
the history
Wombat.
of Australia. Fatso the big-arsed wombat.
Do you remember they had that dispute with Fatso where it was outselling the official Olympic merchandise?
Yeah, that's right.
And so they had a crack at Channel 7, the Olympic, or the, not the IOC, whatever the Australian was, the AOC.
AOC. Well, they're not known for their sense of humour.
Said, listen, can you stop selling it? And they had to make Fatso less prominent. It was superb. All right, 19 after 8, let's check traffic, and we'll come back with more in just a moment.
Real schmozzle on the freeway at the moment at Crayfors West, a 5-car smash. It's on the freeway down track near the Mees Days ramp. Super heavy delays back past Stirling. Avoid that if you can today. Works are slow as well this morning at South Brighton Road near Broadway. Getting busy at Wingfield, Salisbury Harwood at the Wingfield ramp. And an early morning camera, Happy Valley Drive at Happy Valley. Burger or chicken? Why choose? Have both at a Porto. The chicken and a Prego value box, a Prego burger, quarter chicken and chips, just $15.95 at a Porto. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show. Stephen Rowe and Tim Jennifer.
Sometimes things come to an end, and the retirements of both Dusty Martin and Tomahawk has been maybe expected, but a little surprised that, especially on the Dusty Martin front, that it ceases immediately. Tom Hawkins will see it out to the end of the year.
The 5AA Sports Show.
Can't see Dusty doing too much media though.
No, that's it. He's probably on a plane to New Zealand now.
Weekdays from 4 p.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Pressure washing your entire home, driveway, pavers, retaining walls and windows is way easier than you think, but not if you do it yourself. Forget that. Call Fresh Front, Adelaide's #1 rated pressure cleaning company, making tired homes and businesses look new again. Fresh Front are trained to clean just about every surface safely, so no damage. Fresh Front work harder than anyone to ensure your satisfaction or your money back. Visit freshfront.com.au. Looks like new.
Gone are the days of bulky solar panels. NRG Solar is ushering in a new era of sleek, efficient solar technology. With just a few panels, harness the power of the sun like never before. The equation is simple. More efficiency, more savings. Join the revolution with NRG Solar. Discover simplicity at 1275 South Road St Mary's or online at nrgsolar.com.au. NRG Solar, for a brighter, more sustainable tomorrow.
Samtas Seafood invite you to experience Adelaide's finest seafood at unbeatable prices. Choose from an amazing selection of affordable premium seafood. And how's this? This looks like a typo, but it's not. Take advantage of this season's #1 best deal, SA King Prawns, starting from only $13.99 a kilo.
Plus, enjoy these excellent winter warming treats on special and all freshly handmade daily. South Australian crumb garfish fillets, tasty crumb flathead fillets, delicious Tassie Atlantic salmon shazliks, sweet chili and lime or Cajun, incredible value, all just $39.99 a kilo.
Sounds like a Guns N' Roses song, doesn't it? Sweet chili and lime. Fill your freezer with their unbeatable deal. 4 kilos of premium snap frozen seafood for just $60. It's the deal that inflation forgot. Choose from ocean trout, dory, snapper, barra, Atlantic salmon. An incredible offer. 4 kilos, still just $60.
Feed your family for weeks with the 4 kilo quality seafood $60 deal. Delicious crumb prawns, salt and pepper squid, white bait, even Tassie Atlantic salmon, cutlets, all included.
Samtas Seafoods, Adelaide's premium seafood specialists. Factory direct, open 7 days. Samtas Seafoods, where value meets quality. 201 Richmond Road, Richmond.
If you're packing up your family to travel across the land will treat you different in a Dave Benson caravan.
30 years in business and proudly Aussie made. You'll always find the van for you under cover and in the shade. We've got the largest indoor showroom, so come and say g'day. Whether it's a caravan or RV, visit DBC today. And if the rain's coming down sideways, don't let it wreck your plans, because our showroom's undercover at Dave Benson Caravans.
Dreaming of renovating or building? Then come and see us at the Building Ideas Centre. The Building Ideas Centre is a new massive showroom packed with all the latest designs and products to bring your dreams to life. We offer an impressive mix of renovation essentials. We're talking kitchens, bathrooms, heating and cooling, tiles and so much more. From modest budgets to grand designs, we've got you covered. Let us help you bring your dreams to life at the Building Ideas Centre, 279 Growth Street in the city.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Visit your local Hyundai dealer for offers on a wide range of models. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
And they could never tear us apart.
David Kosh on 5AA Breakfast.
24 minutes after 8. There's a theme to our Koshy chats at the moment for much of 2024, and it's been that a week is both a long time in football and a long time in economics. Koshy, good morning to you.
Good morning, team. It sure is, isn't it?
I think you'd rather talk about the footy than the economy, Koshy. Can I start with the footy? Have you ever seen a game like that? You were here, I presume. You must have been pinching yourself.
Yes, it's amazing what goes through your mind at the end of the first quarter. You're going, surely we can't keep this up. And the other side of you goes, if we lose this will be embarrassing. And then it kept going, and they played brilliantly. And then you get greedy and go, wonder if we can beat them by 100 points. And sort of you think you can't. But it was, great credit to the entire football department. After that Brisbane game, they had a reset. They really looked at their accountability, and they built from there. So it's on the back of a lot of hard work and changes in the team. And it's the Willem Drews and the Miles Bergmans and the Ollie Wines. So
Georgiades, I'd throw in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Radagalia's shift to the forward line. It's all credit to them.
Koshy, some details are starting to sort of leak out about the AFL's final round fixture. I'm not sure. Have you been made aware of when Port are going to play yet? Because the suggestion is you might be the last game of the round in that awful twilight time slot.
We always are. The same happened last year.
You or us?
Yeah, exactly right. And that's, we played Freo in Perth, and where both of us are sitting on the ladder at the moment. It was you can understand why they might be putting it in that time slot, but it will come down almost to the last game to decide whether people are playing finals or not, or what position within the finals. So it's a cliffhanger season. I just cannot believe it. Great for footy, terrible for blood pressure of presidents.
Hey, Koshy, do you believe the Reserve Bank governor when she says there won't be an interest rate cut for 6 months?
Yeah, I do at this stage. And I've been talking about this for weeks with you guys. We're not driving inflation, it's governments. It is, if you wanted any proof of whether the federal budget was inflationary, you only had to read Michelle Bullock's comments and her press conference yesterday, when in Reserve Bank speak, when she says demand is being driven by public spending. Public spending is not you and I. We're doing the right thing. We're tightening our household budget. It's governments with their big infrastructure projects and big spending, big renewable energy transition projects. They're the ones driving building costs. They're the ones driving shortages in labour, and particularly building labour costs. They're driving inflation. And Michelle Bullock, sort of in that very polite Reserve Bank speak that she can only use, is basically saying, yep, governments are going out and spending big time. We have to clean up the mess after them because they are causing inflation. So every time a politician sort of big notes themselves with concessions or energy grants or big building projects and infrastructure projects, look at them and say, and ask them the question, why are you keeping my interest rates high? Because it's just you.
The headline in The Australian was excellent this morning, I thought. If pain persists, see Dr. Chalmers.
Yep, exactly right. Exactly right. And they've got to do their bit. They just cannot be the good cop and allow the Reserve Bank to be the bad cop all the time. They have way more economic levers to keep inflation under control and bring down interest rates than the Reserve Bank does.
Well, Dave, we'll save the showdown sledging for next week. We'll really rip it over then. In keeping with tradition.
You toss a coin, don't you? It is one of the great contests of the year. It's wonderful.
It certainly is. Good on you, David Kosh there, Compare the Market, Economic Director, and of course the Chairman of the Port Adelaide Football Club.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. We're helping life flow.
Or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
Join over 60,000 Adelaide homes and say yes to lowering your energy bills with Yes, your energy saving solutions. Do you know how much that old fridge in the shed is adding to your electricity bill? Your energy saving solutions can collect your old inefficient fridges and freezers for free, and the best part is that you can also get up to $150 per unit. For T's and C's on this unbeatable offer from your energy saving solutions, go to yes.net.au. That's yes.net.au.
The team at House Inspect Australia would like to welcome Niall Deegan, their newest franchise owner of the team. Niall is a qualified carpenter, builder and building supervisor who's been with House Inspect Australia for the last couple of years. After working for the company as an employee, Niall decided to become a franchise owner. One of his favourite things about the company is the fact that all staff are qualified builders. They just get it.
House Inspect Australia, they're great. We actually got them to come out to our house earlier this year. And it's not just for buying houses. If you want to take stock of where your house is at, particularly if you've got an old crumbling one like mine, they really are the best. If you're looking to build or buy in the Holdfast Bay or Marion Council area, get in touch with Niall. And if you're looking for a career change too, give House Inspect Australia a call and find out about becoming a franchisee.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Sunny and 18 today with the 8:30 news. I'm Graham Goodings.
Make RAA approved windscreen repairer Complete Windscreens your insurer repairer of choice. Visit completewindscreens.com.au.
There have been 2 fatal road accidents overnight. Senior Constable Matt Brown says police were called to Rail Corridor Road at Hart in the mid-north.
After a pedestrian was struck by a car and a truck, and sadly the 52-year-old local man died at the scene. So the man's death was the 53rd life lost on South Australian roads.
About 2 hours later, another life was lost at Maiponga. A white Suzuki crashed into a tree and burst into flames. A 75-year-old Seaford Rise man and sole occupant of the car died at the scene. Meantime, a man is fighting for life after his Volkswagen crashed head-on with a school bus in the Barossa Valley yesterday afternoon. None of the occupants of the bus were injured. A car has crashed through a fence and into a church filled with worshippers at Bellevue Heights. No one in the Clear Vision Church on Alpha Road was injured, but there was extensive damage to the church. The male driver of the Toyota sedan suffered minor injuries and was taken to hospital. It's believed he accidentally hit the accelerator. Australia's youngest Olympic medalist is looking forward to getting back home to celebrate and welcome a new pet. At just 14 years old, Arissa True broke the age record with a gold medal winning performance in the Women's Park skateboarding event in Paris. She says her parents now have to keep a promise.
My parents are really proud of me. They came and watched, and I got to see them after as well, and now I get to get a pet dog because they said if I came first I'd get a pet dog.
More Olympic news and sport with Tom Wren. The US says ceasefire negotiations in Gaza are at a decisive moment as it works to avoid an escalation of the Middle East conflict. There are fears of a broader regional war after the assassination of senior Hamas and Hezbollah officials. Iran and its allies are threatening to punish Israel, which is believed to be behind the killings. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says there's been intense diplomacy in a bid to avoid further bloodshed.
Over the past few days, we've been in constant contact with partners in the region and well beyond. In those conversations, we've heard a clear consensus. No one should escalate this conflict.
US presidential candidate Kamala Harris and her new running mate have been greeted with cheers at a rally in Philadelphia. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has been selected to run as vice president. It's the first public appearance for the pair as running mates. The Reserve Bank has dashed hopes of an interest rate cut this year. The RBA board has left the official cash rate on hold at 4.35%. The central bank says rates are unlikely to come down until inflation eases further. Australian Retirement Trust Chief Economist Brian Parker is expecting some rate relief next year.
We think by the first quarter of next year, you'll see enough signs that the inflation rate is heading back towards the central bank's target, but also I think you're likely to see further weakness in the economy, and that should give them enough ammunition to cut interest rates during the first quarter.
Now looking at 5AA Sport.
Gliderroll Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderroll.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Graham. South Aussie Oliver Bledden has been a part of Australia's incredible world record men's track cycling team overnight. They'll now race for gold against Great Britain early tomorrow morning, our time. In track and field, middle distance runner Jessica Hull has declared she's willing to withstand the argy-bargy in her quest for Olympic gold. Hull finished second in her heat to go through to the semi-finals of the 1500 metres. The Aussie says she's trying to stay out of trouble in what can be a physical event.
We work so hard in the gym so that those moments don't knock us around, and I feel like I'm ready for anything. If they want to be pushy, if they want to be a clean race, I can react on the fly.
Audio there thanks to 9 Radio. Australian Alana Jukic, meantime, has finished 7th in her semi-final in the women's 400-metre hurdles. Well, the AFL will announce this morning the fixture for the final round of the season. Port will take on Fremantle in Perth, and there's talk it will be the Sunday twilight match. Chairman David Kosh telling David and Will there will be a lot at stake.
But it will come down almost to the last game to decide whether people are playing finals or not, or what position within the finals. So it's a cliffhanger season.
Meantime, Richmond says Dustin Martin will be at the MCG during their round 24 match against Gold Coast for a public celebration after he announced his retirement effective immediately after 302 games. Tigers CEO Brendan Gale says Dusty calling time on his illustrious career didn't come as a shock.
No, it wasn't a surprise. It's a decision that's, I'd say, has been a burden for some time with Dustin. I think he's found the game physically and mentally challenging over the last few weeks, particularly wrestling with this decision. So we just felt, for someone of his stature, that it was important for him to arrive at it in his own way, in his own time.
Meantime, Triple Premiership cat Tom Hawkins has announced this season will also be his last. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
At Crafers West, a nasty 5-car smash on the freeway down track to the Mees Days ramp. Awful delays back to Bridgewater at the moment. Avoid that if you can, if you're coming inbound. Para Hills, another smash. McIntyre Road at Bridge Road with delays. Busy at Mitchell Park, Dawes Road near Carrawar Avenue, and slow south road at Thibberton. Camera this morning, Gorge Road at Paracombe. Combining comforts and cutting-edge technology, make the Mercedes-Benz GLA City Edition yours for $66,900 drive away. Visit Mercedes-Benz Adelaide and Unley. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Another 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
Sunny at 18 today, tomorrow showers 17, Friday partly cloudy 16, and Saturday sunny at 18. Currently it's 10. More news as it happens on 5AA.
I'm high!
The Excelsior Hotel has always felt like home, with meals from just $12, like soup from $12 with garlic bread, half beef or chicken schnitzels, $16, sweet and sour pork with rice, $16, bangers and mash, $18, 1 or 2 piece fish and chips from $16, and 250 gram porterhouse, $22. Gotta love the Excelsior Hotel lunchtime menu. Feels like coming home, but better. You just know it's a Bro Hotel.
The biggest threat to your business isn't your competition. It's cybercrime. Cybercrime threats impacting Australian businesses large and small continues to grow year on year. One call to one solution will put your business in a safe place and save you from the devastating consequences of cybercrime. It's the smartest, most cost-effective business decision you'll ever make. Stay safe and protected. Get in touch with One Solution. onesolution.net.au, a Platinum Telstra partner.
Built like a brick house. Basic Trailers build all types of trailers here in Adelaide. Locally made with Australian steel, you get 12 months warranty and factory direct pricing. Visit basictrailers.com.au. Basic Trailers. Basically, better.
Visit your local Hyundai dealer for offers on a wide range of models. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
22 minutes to 9. Any donation of $10 or more between now and 9 o'clock for the 5AA Undie Drive at 5AAUndiedrive.com.au puts you in the running to win a magnificent Smeg toaster. We're going to draw that out and give it away before 9 o'clock. A whole host of names already have their names in the copper pot that's out there at the moment. COVID-free copper pot, not the challenge bowl, covered in COVID. 0480081395 is the Dutton's text line number. But we want you to go to 5AAUndiedrive.com.au to make a donation.
Big shout out to a good mate, Con, who says, "G'day, as a mere pensioner, I can donate $15 for your good cause." Well, Con, you are a dead set legend, mate, because as we've been saying all along, all those little donations add up, and we really appreciate it. And Michelle says, "G'day, boys, I was volunteering last night with Fred's van in the city, and we took out some jocks and socks along with our normal food, drinks and blankets. Our street friends lapped them up very quickly. It just shows the need and what a great cause your Undie Drive is. Good on you, Mick. Thank you for that."
Already thousands of dollars have been raised this morning. What do we need? 3,000 more bucks between now and 9 o'clock.
20 minutes, hop to it, Adelaide. And regional SA. I was lucky enough yesterday to get along to the just mind-blowing launch of the new Cooper's Brewery there on Regency Road. It is an absolutely stunning upgrade, and I said earlier in the show that it should make us both proud and grateful as South Australians that a whopping 70 mil was invested back into our community by what is Australia's not just largest but only family-owned, Australian-owned brewery, Cooper's Brewery from SA. A huge contribution going back more than 160 years. Tim Cooper is, of course, the managing director and, more importantly, still the chief brewer at Cooper's Brewery. We've got him on the line now. Tim, that was a really, really excellent event yesterday. I thought the governor's speech was superb. I like the fact that Her Excellency revealed that she and her husband don't mind the odd Coopers themselves. It was a great day.
David, thank you very much, and thank you for your very gracious words in terms of describing our contribution, and thanks for coming along. It was a lot of fun and a great celebration of 3 or 4 years of work in terms of bringing it together.
The scale of the project, it's hard to actually describe in a non-visual medium, but I said before, it opens to the public on August 28. People just got to get in there and see it for themselves because it's just astonishing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like over 5,000 square metres of internal space. Of course, that does include the 1,400 square metres of the stillage, which is sort of half underground. And but we've got space for 400 people to sit, and so 3 bars and a 4th bar for the visitor experience for tastings. And of course, we're going to be open. We're going to start being open for 5 days a week, Tuesday to Saturday inclusive. And it's sort of cellar door type timing, 10 in the morning through to 6 at night. So, but we do hope that we'll attract a lot of loyal Coopers supporters and new supporters from interstate and locally as well.
Will it be an event space as well, Tim?
Look, there's the possibility of doing events. We have a council approval and licensing to cater for events. I mean, as you know, we had 3 of those concerts on the lawns. We've lost a lot of that space now, thanks to the beautiful new development. But we could still put on smaller events. But the main task is to really introduce to people who don't know the brand a very worthwhile experience. We want to make it as much as possible a tourism destination, an icon to visit for people coming from interstate, and show what's different about Coopers and give them an idea of our heritage, the 162 years, as you say.
It's amazing to think, Tim, how it might be an overstatement to say it's the business model, but we've seen the explosion in microbreweries, but a lot of them seem to have a sort of corporate arc where they start independent but then end up getting swallowed up by the big boys, the Kirins and the Lion Nathans and so on. And obviously we've seen a lot of, once iconic local brands fall into foreign control and foreign ownership, leaving you guys really as the last men and women standing. How have you managed to stay on 2 feet independently and as a South Australian company?
Yeah, well, I mean, thanks again, but we've had a bit of good luck along the way. I mean, we've had things that have gone our way. We've nearly lost it a few times. We nearly lost it in the 70s after we had invested a lot of money in lager production, and then there was big increases in excise, and it was difficult to try. And my father, at one point, I think it was 1976, said if we don't survive the next 6 weeks, we'll be gone. So, I mean, there has been tight times, and in the early 90s with the recession, it was pretty tight again, and the banks put us under the microscope. But fortunately, we, by God's grace and some good management and good luck, we've managed to survive, and we survived that Lion Nathan takeover battle in 2005. And so we're delighted to come out the other side of all those things, and now fortunately get to 5% of the national beer volume. I think one of the big things was to start having salespeople outside of South Australia in 2003, and then that really grew the volume significantly after that.
Yeah. And I know because I spent 12 years living in Sydney, and you guys had a cult following over there. Like the pubs in Surrey Hills, Balmain, they would really push the fact that they had Coopers on tap, and you generated not just love locally, but love nationally and internationally too. It's just been tremendous. Hey, Tim, I'm not sure if you're aware, but someone fitted me up yesterday, and I know you guys have got a proud association with the Norwood Football Club. Obviously, stadium sponsors there, Cooper Stadium, as it's also known there. The parade. Some sod said that if someone stumped up $1,000, I'd have to do the entire show wearing a Norwood jumper. I'm deeply uncomfortable with that, given my stirred allegiances. So I don't know if you're prepared to get the checkbook out.
I think it's an excellent suggestion. I think we at Coopers would love to give $1,000 to make you wear Norwood outfit tomorrow.
Yes,
that would be our. It would be a great Tasman House and Hutt Street Centre. So thank you for doing it, and of course we've been with Norwood as major sponsor since 1947. So. I'm
not going to be able to show my face at Sturt Central's at Unley this Saturday. I'm just waiting for the fiery text to come in from...
Which jumper is it going to be? The lace-up? That'd be nice.
Oh, the G. McIntosh model. Yeah, that's right. Hey, Tim, you guys do a great job. And I know yesterday as well, and the Governor made the point in her speech, how much you have done for charity as well. So congratulations on yesterday. I can't wait to get in there with some mates. I was getting texts yesterday from friends saying, when's it open? We're all going to put a line through an afternoon and head on in. It's going to be awesome. Tim Cooper there, the MD of Cooper's Brewery. Thanks, mate.
It's 13 minutes to 9. Donations coming in thick and fast. How about this one from Jared Wadmore? $500. $500. So we're $1,800 now away from the $5,000. Is that right, Sam? You're crunching the numbers out there. Gives a nod of the head. Okay, so I tell you what, we've had a bumper morning for the 5AA Undie Drive. Thousands of dollars have come in, and so much of that has come in by way of small donations, $10, $15. As we said right at the start of the week, we are so grateful for the big numbers that business does, and they support our charity so well. But the small ones get us to big totals. And we've got a heap of those already coming through at the moment for the Smeg Toaster as well. Each $10 donation or more gets you in the running. We'll draw that out before 9 o'clock. But, geez, another $1,800 for the pinnacle of human humiliation.
Well, you thought the pinnacle of human humiliation. What about this idea from Jared on the text line? He says he's just donated, but he's doing it on the proviso that Will does the routine in a panda-themed leotard. I think Will's already suffering enough.
I don't think such a cursed item exists.
I'm genuinely worried about the blowback I'm going to get from Sue Dewing at Sturt about wearing a Norwood jumper. I'm not going to hold up the sign, though. I'll just wear the jumper.
You're an ambassador, aren't you? I'm sure. Did you read the terms and conditions?
Me and Tim Rogers from UMLA. They're not picky at Sturt.
He might write a song about you.
Yeah, condemning me.
Rowie's going to bring the Nord gear in. We've just had it confirmed. Oh, that's
really
exciting. Might be game worn by S. Rowe. How good would that be?
The year he almost won the McGarry medal.
Well, that'd be something. What an article. All right.
Are we the same size, do you reckon?
I think it would fit
I'm an L.
It would fit you differently.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. If it's from his playing days, probably all right.
11:09. Let's check traffic. More donations coming in as we
On
speak.
your rowing.
5AAndydrive.com.au.
Thanks, Will. Super heavy delays still at Crafers West after that multi-car smash. She's on the freeway down track near the Mees Days ramp. Delays back to Bridgewater. Avoid it if you can. Para Hills, another collision. McIntyre Road at Bridge Road with delays. And slow for exit Brighton. Brighton Road near Marlborough Street. Early morning cameras, Forreston Road, Forreston and Gorge Road at Paracombe. A massive $576 million could be yours with the USA Mega Lotto. Hurry, draw closes in less than an hour. Grab your tickets now at lotteryoffice.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Coming up on 5AA Mornings, urgent action needed to address the shortfall of GPs in South Australia. And Hank Jongan, he's from the government, he's here to help. Any Centrelink Services Australia type questions, he is your man. He'll be joining me from 11 o'clock. I'm Matthew Pantelis. They're two of the topics coming up between now and midday. Look forward to your company from 9.
Need a truck, van, car, ute, hybrid, 12 to 25 seater bus or something else? Budget Car and Truck Rental have you sorted. Plus trolleys, trailers, boxes, furniture covers, tapes, blankets and many other accessories. Whatever the job, Budget is your one-stop shop. With multiple locations across Metro and regional SA, it couldn't be easier. Budget Car and Truck Rental. Get to the good stuff. Call 13 27 27 or visit budget.com.au.
When you buy Fluorio Milk Company milk, you're pretty much buying direct from the farmer. We bottle it and send it straight to the supermarket. We deliver it ourselves too. It means we can give SA dairy farmers the best possible price per litre. So when you buy Fluorio milk, you're supporting SA dairy farmers and their families. Plus, your money stays here in SA. And in these times, that's good for all of us. Look for the local in your supermarket. Fluorio Milk Company. We're for SA dairy farmers.
It all started in the back shed. Maybe it started early. Or late. Either way, the Olympic Industry Sale means there's no need to wait. With big savings on our entire range of SA engineered sheds, garages, carports and verandas, you can afford to start something big, tough, or tasty in your own backyard. Start something with the Olympic Industry Sale. On now.
The critical part of any healthcare is the care. It's about being by your side when you and your loved ones need us most. Through late night fevers, through the rough and tumble of weekend sports, through weird rashes, mystery aches and knowing in your heart that something's not quite right. From surgery to rehabilitation, through emergencies, mental illness, chronic diseases and for better health. Your doctor cares. Let's take care of them too. Authorised by Dr. David Pope, Sasmoa, Adelaide.
The Honda mid-size SUV stock clearance is on now. Get 8 years warranty and 8 years roadside assist, plus a $1,000 Ampol fuel card on 2023 build Honda ZR-V and CR-Vs. Visit us at Formula Honda to test drive today. Ampol fuel card offer valid until September 30. Different warranty applies for vehicles used for commercial purposes. T's and C's at honda.com.au. Hurry into Formula Honda. Find us at Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond, or North East Road, Modbury.
Visit your local Hyundai dealer for offers on a wide range of models. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
8 minutes to 9. Speaking of great venues, talking about the new Cooper's Brewery site, KG's birthday took place at the revamped brand new Kent Town Hotel.
That was excellent.
What a great venue that was for an event.
The food was really good as well.
It was
for an event of that scale, that coq au vin, I can say that because Luce is on leave, so she can't upbraid me. The French stewed chicken dish, superb.
I mention it because that's where you find Jade Robberin this morning. Morning again, Jade.
Good morning, guys, and it was absolutely scrumdiddlyumptious, and so are the chicken schnitzels here at the Kent Town Hotel. Let's bring in Tom Hanna, who is the big boss here at the Kent Town, because he has got a very special announcement to make. Tom, you've jumped on board with the Undies Drive, and we're so grateful for that. What's the announcement today?
Well, we just want to do our part. We've got a great association with FIVEAA, so call to arms. Just if we can sell 70 schnitzels, that's $1,000 towards the Undie Drive. We already do a couple of hundred a week of the chicken schnitzels, so it's not hard. So more people that can come in and have a chicken schnitzel, the better.
That is excellent. Okay, so is that all proceeds, or is that 50% of the proceeds? How's it all going to work?
50% of 70 schnitzels is $1,000.
Fantastic. And these schnitties, guys, this is my local down here. They're massive. They're so good. And they're nice and thick and juicy, and you get to put all different toppings on them as well. They are the favourite, aren't they?
Yeah, and low carb.
Look, what do you mean?
That's a lie.
We won't let a small little white lie get in the way of a good story. I was like, hang about, what have we discovered here? They're great for the belly and great for the hips, aren't they? What do you have on your schnitty?
I'm a beef schnitzel man myself. Yeah, we get the Miura station Wagyu meat, which is good.
Yeah.
Bloody beautiful. Well, I'm going to bring the kids down tonight with the hubby. We're going to come down and have a chicken schnitzel tonight. Get on board, because proceeds of the chicken schnitzel, half proceeds, will go to Will and Dave's Undie Drive. Also around town, if you purchase a $2 token from any Foodland store around South Australia, they will be donating to the Undie Drive as well. And of course, I've come from the Guardsman as well at the Adelaide train station, all thanks to Sky City. All proceeds from grabbing a coffee there is going to go to the Undie Drive. And as we heard earlier today, Sky City are going to match all of those donations as well. And I have been using these sexy socks today as my gloves, because it is cold outside.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, we are so appreciative of everybody's love from South Australia, especially down here at the Kent Town. Jump on in tonight and grab yourself a yummy chicken schnitty for dinner.
Yeah, great message, great idea, Jade. And I was just thinking, as Jade was talking then, about mentioning these businesses, you know, Guardsman, Kent Town Hotel, Sky City, others that have donated proceeds to what we're doing here. You know, Rundle Blinds a little while ago. Our other job when we're not doing the Undie Drive has been, unfortunately, the last 12 months talking about how hard it is for these businesses.
Yes, completely.
Talking about the stats that the RBA chews over, about retail trade. Like, when we're talking about how hard it is out there, it's these guys we're talking about, and yet they've still seen fit to donate to the Undie Drive. They've still seen fit to donate entire days or weeks of trade to supporting Catherine House and Hutt Street Centre. Like, we can't thank them enough. McGain are the same. McGain are our major sponsor for this. Now, McGain don't need to do that.
No.
McGain have decided to be part of it because they see some value in the amazing work Catherine House and Hutt Street Centre do. McGain Property Management.
In the middle of a retail recession, supply chain problems, labour market shortages, like, you know, it has been to use a hoary old cliche, which in itself is a hoary old cliche, it's been a perfect storm for people running businesses for the last 2 years, hasn't it?
And the same holds true for the individuals who we know. We've seen the data. We talk about it when we're doing, you know, their usual show, not the Undie Drive. We're talking about how much people are paring back and spending. So every time we get a text from someone like this one, who says so without a name on it, they don't saying it because they want credit or a shout out. It's anonymous. Just donated $10. Love your work. Well, we're getting hundreds of those. I
want to slap myself for saying perfect storm. I hate that term.
Do you?
Should be. I've got this really good book at home called Cliches and How to Avoid Them Like the Plague. Should be in there.
The perfect storm.
Yeah. Perfect storm of cliche. 50% of 70 schnitzels is $1,000. That sounds like one of the questions we got wrong yesterday, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't I'll have flashbacks if you keep up that kind of malarkey.
So if you had 140 schnitzels, how many dollars?
I don't know. I've got 45%. Sam Daddo's collating the names at the moment. We're going to draw them out of the hat. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk for the next couple of minutes and give you as much time as possible to go to 5AAUndiedrive.com.au, make a $10 donation or more. If you do so, you're in the running to win the Smeg toaster that we're going to pull out of the copper bowl in just a moment. So there's still time for you to get your name in the bowl and a chance to win that excellent Smeg toaster.
It's all going to be about the gymnastics shortly. Don't know where Will is going to be doing his routine, but he will be limbering up after 9 o'clock, and we'll be playing it tomorrow on the show. All going to be filmed for posterity, of course.
I think it's going to be, like, I don't know if there's going to be much of an oral element to it, is there?
Have you got a soundtrack yet?
Well, I Googled, and I've been particularly taken by Son Yun Jae's Libertango from Rio in 2016.
I think something a bit more high energy. I'd like to see you doing your routine to the Neutron Dance by the Pointer Sisters.
I don't think the judges look kindly upon that kind of stuff.
Well, maybe to keep the Beverly Hills Cop theme going, maybe a bit of Axel F. Dun dun. Dun, 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 dun,
bit of synth, bit of 80s synth.
I think in the movie I, Tonya, she did a routine to... Oh, no, she did a routine to Sleeping Bag by ZZ Top.
Is that right?
Yeah, and it's really, really well filmed.
The Copper Bowl was in the studio.
You seen I, Tonya?
Great. Terrific film.
Who plays a mum? The woman in LA Law.
Yeah, I can't
Tell you
can't
what,
think of her name off the
she
top of
went
my
through
head.
a few packs of durries in that film. We have a winner, Claire Hicks. Hang on. Sam has dysgraphia like me. It's either Hicks or Nix. I think it's Hicks. Hicks with a H, as in Daryl.
Okay, well,
Legendary
Claire,
Essentials coach.
Congratulations to you. Claire, you've got the Smeg toaster coming your way. Hey, look at this. Oh, that is superb.
We have the ribbons. Sam is in here with the ribbons ready for Will. I didn't know you get 2 ribbons.
No, you don't.
Two
And see, this is
ribbons,
why
goodings,
clearly
they call
Sam's not an aficionado. You use 1 ribbon, mate. I don't know what you get
Clearly
2.
not
Unless
a
you're a
golfer.
goal umpire.
That's right. Straight through the big white sticks.
That's superb.
Don't you need one for each hand?
No, I don't think so. Not
Well, you've
looking
got
at
one for
Sonia
each
and
hand.
Jay. No, you don't, because, you know, you got to show I was looking at the scoring as well. Apparently, you got to show technical excellence with your apparatus combined with physical excellence.
That'd be just like shell and peas for you,
I'm,
Will.
I'm not sure how we're going to punch this into the scoring system.
But guess what, Will?
What?
With a late flurry at a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there, you're about to do rhythmic gymnastics, Will.
Of course I am.
So we'll
Springing
record
out
it.
tomorrow.
I might get David to commentate it. We'll join in tomorrow morning to have a watch because it's going to be on the live stream as well and probably on social media. And you never know, Channel 7 might think it's a good ray of sunshine today.
Yeah. You know what? I can tell you they won't.
We don't want
Channel 9 might.
Yeah, Tom can commentate it on Channel 9.
All right, we're out of time.
Footage just in of a complete half-wit at a rival TV station engaging in an absurd stunt.
Matt Pantelis is coming up. We'll catch you tomorrow from 6 for day 4 of the Undie Drive.
Glenelg has something for everyone.